I'm back when there's these. I don't know what these men are. They're not
Yeah.
MCs,
You
bro.
know what as well. Obviously, I've spoken to you today already. It's like man's not really here to talk about bringing grime back and that because that's
I
left to
know, I
whoever.
know,
That's left
I
to
know,
whoever that's left to. Car big up all of that. You
I
get me?
know,
But
I know, I
you know
know.
the thing, man. It's just
Trust
like
me.
good luck to all of that, man. You know.
Yeah, good luck to Graham, man. Well, whatever type of Graham that is, anyways. But boom.
Yeah, it's all
Listen,
love, bro.
as I
For
said,
real.
guys. No, for real, for real. It's all love. You man, do
Bro,
your thing. Just do
bro.
it over there. Yeah. But
Nah,
boom, as
even
I said,
yeah,
guys,
wherever it
listen.
is, I'ma just stay here. You feel me? But yeah, yeah.
Nah, we're cool, man. We're
It's
cool,
lit, it's
bro.
lit,
But
it's
hey,
lit. But
listen,
yeah,
everyone.
it's one of those ones, man. Like, big you up firstly for bringing me on. Well, I'm sure
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
about to get more people in the building, but more time, yeah, it's nice to kind of speak to people at a kind of core level where, like you said,
Mm.
core grime fans and shit like that, people that actually give a fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah, defo,
Yeah,
real Graham fans,
yeah.
man. So yeah, everyone retweet this space, innit? Everyone retweet this space. The numbers are going up as we're talking. Everyone retweet this space. Tweet all your thoughts on the hashtag. And yeah, man, we're gonna get into it. But you know what? Boom. Hey, what should I call you? Should I call you Ian or Maxstar? Which one? Like, cause I'm still like
You
I'm
know what?
thinking
Yeah, I'm gonna humor the I'm gonna humor the context, and you can just call me Max, man. It's cool, bro.
Maxstar, yeah? Alright,
Yeah,
cool.
that's
So
calm, man.
boom, Maxstar, listen. Just just let them know who you are. I'm pretty sure a lot
Uh,
of people in here they know who you are, but for the
yeah.
people that might not know who you are, just introduce yourself to the listeners, what you do, who you
Yeah.
are, and yeah.
I guess for the people that don't know who I am, I'm an artist from East London that's like kind of predominantly made grime music over the course of my career. Kind of signed deals, worked with artists like Kano, Wiley, like a lot of the top boys in grime that I always respected. But like I come from a scene of grime that was like kind of peak 2010, 2011 in regards to like that's when I was a young person doing it, and that's when all my friends are young. And yeah, man, if you were around and you caught that wave, then you caught that wave. But yeah, man, I'm Maxsta, I make grand music, or I did. Now I'm kind of doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff and kind of I guess transcending into being like a coach, I guess, cause I feel like I've played the game a bit, and you know, I guess when you play the background, people might think that you're just somewhere off the map, but more time, man's just somewhere kind of doing cool things within music, producing TV adverts and a bunch of other stuff. Like I was just in a film that got like is that like got an award from Kodak, something, and all like I just do different creative stuff because being Maxter has allowed me to get into different spaces. I guess. So yeah, am I still on here? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can hear you
But
still.
basically, yeah, man, I'm an artist from East London, and really, when I was young and I was like, I started music. I guess the first time I ever got played on legal radio, I was like 14 when I got played on Kiss 100 or something. But really, when I was young, my goal in music, I just wanted to me and all my brethren that I made music with, we just wanted to be like I don't know if you know about Rough Squad, but yeah, we just wanted to be
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we just wanted to be like Rough Squad. I can't lie. So we did get a lot further, but initially, we just wanted to be like Rough Squad. So to be honest, yeah. Man's kind of happy with where we took things for what it's worth. But yeah, go on. That's me.
Okay, cool. So, all right, so we're gonna start from the beginning with you, innit?
Yeah,
So where was you born? Where was you born? Because I know
uh,
you're from Sierra Leone, innit?
yeah.
So where was you
I was
born?
born in Lewisham, still, so, like Lewisham Hospital.
Mm,
Swear
Yeah,
down.
South London,
okay.
still.
South London, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
I was
okay.
in South, like, and
So
then I was in South till I was like 14. Like, I went to, I think, yeah, I lived in Peckham from when I was born till like, yeah, 13, 14. Then and I went to this secondary school in Bermondsey called Bacon's College. I'm not too sure what they call it now, but more time it's in Bermondsey. And yeah, I don't know, man. I got something happened and I got permanently excluded in year 9. And then I moved to East London and then we took it from there. Yeah.
okay. So originally you was from what? Because I know like So I think you said something about you was from Peckham as well.
I'll be honest with you, bro. When I was in year nine, I was the type of person to be writing SE15 in school, like, and like a lot of people that ended up in like I don't know, like PYG or stuff or certain stuff like that. It's like I'm not saying I was rolling with them when we was at that age doing that, but those are the youths that when man's like 10, 11, certain man like Young Killer, Young Kills, like Young Size and that, them man are they're like in my football team. They're the youths that man go football with on the weekend and boom boom boom. But like yeah, man was just from the area, like yeah, I lived across the road on a block from Tiny Booth, like kind of shit like that. I don't even like
Okay.
it's like to say like I ain't even seen him probably face to face since them times. But it was like it would have been like his sister was hanging out with my sister because they were just on the estate in like Southampton way, SE15 from me. But yeah, man, that's where it started. Still,
Okay. Cool. Cool. So, like, what was your main interests growing up?
I was one of them youths like reading mad books and shit. Like I was a Harry Potter like fanatic. I was like the Anthony Horowitz books, like Storm Rider and shit. I think Stormbreaker, shit like that. Them kind of series, a series of horrible events. I was one of them youths, man. Like always with a book, like just always with a book, bro, somewhere. And music. Like the first time, like man started going to music lessons and things like that when I was like year five, year six, I started going to the Southwark community schemes on the weekend. Like I used to go to this.
Mm.
There's a school in Peckham called Michael Ramsey where man used to go there on
Yeah.
the weekends and kind of do some lessons and that. But basically, it's like I was in a steel pan band in year six, and I remember at the end of the year when we was leaving, they recorded our performance on a CD. So they like must have put all our names on the CD, and from there I was kind of like, I remember I got the CD in my hand and I was like, yeah, it's game time. I want to do this again still. So it was like basically, if I'm being honest, like I started writing lyrics when I was like nine or something. So it's like I was one of them people that's like I just always did it in it, but more time I was kind of like I just wanted to play instruments and I was playing the cello a little bit and doing certain things and but when I got to like secondary school, it started being a bit like oh like I started getting singled out for being a bit nerdy for just like being on the like having a cello on my back and that and like
Mm.
boom boom boom
Yeah. Yeah.
and like skateboarding and shit. You get me? So it was like then I just started rapping like as a rebuttal for real. Like I guess I wanted to fit in with the rest of the kids in the playground or some shit, you know. But that's just how it happened, man. You know?
Mm. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
no, but when did you actually realize you had like a talent for music?
Phew. Yeah, probably when I was like 10, bro. Like cause I was that like in my family, I was that guy. Like my mom got me a piano, or keyboard, should I say? And like
Mm.
she would, me, her, my brother and sister, from when I was young, man, would be like fake making beats and shit in the living room, and they'll like my mum will all make a song together and stuff and boom, boom. So it was kind of like maybe I didn't know that I had something, but I was always pursuing it per se. It was always something that I
Mm.
loved, like for better or worse type shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Like it was.
Okay.
I
Cool.
can't remember.
So.
I can't
Mm.
remember when music wasn't my thing, but I can remember like year seven, my auntie finding lyrics underneath my pillow that where I'm saying a madness. Like so, it's like I was always like I was just always
Mm.
pursuing it, and I always had a certain level of confidence of just like that my parents kind of instilled in me from their hustles and the certain things that they did as Africans that like came here. They always instilled this thing in me where it's like, bro, whatever I want to do, I can do it. It's kind of just up to me whether I want to put in the time. So when it came to being an MC, it was kind of like a joke because when I moved to not a joke, but when I moved to East, it was like so real. Like there was MCs in my community. There were people within my reach that was my age that are like their older lot is like Wiley and this person that. There was like an easy route to like getting busy and getting known. You get me? So it was like I was
Mm.
just like it wasn't something like it was. When I say easy, I say that because like I looked at it like that. But basically, that was what it was, man.
Okay. So obviously, like you just mentioned, like when you moved to East, didn't it? So like when you moved to East, where in East did you move to?
East Ham, E6, Lonsdale Avenue, Central Park, them type of sides. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. E6.
like in that area, like who did you grow up with, like that we would know, that's maybe well known now, or they're famous, or they've done well for
Mm,
themselves?
that's famous, so they've done well. To be honest, like obviously there's like a lot of rappers, but I wouldn't say I necessarily grew up with people. It's just like there's people from my area that was always kind of popping. You get me? That I kind of went straight into the
Mm,
community with. There was always people that was kind of popping. But I guess I don't know. When you say that question, it's like what people I went to school with. Like there's a youth from my school that was like a footballer, and I guess Kano went to my school way before I did, like a couple years
yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah.
That's what gave me the inspiration because like when I went to the school, there was like Kano went here, and his mum was like the one of like the PE teachers or the physio teachers or some shit like that. But it's like when I could see Kano's mum every day in school, that was just like yeah, that really brought it home
Yeah.
still. But yeah, it was like in my area, Newham was full of like talent. Like it was like I was down the road from Gets Criminal. Like I was seeing people like Criminal on the bus from when I moved to the area. And I already knew who he
Mm,
was because he was on Channel 8, like you and that, you get me? So it's like
mm,
I just knew that I was in this grime environment where it's like I can get on a bus and see Criminal, or I can boom, boom, boom. I could see Big Sheik down the road. I could see Sharky Major. I could just see people in the ends. The ends are just full of, as far as music, you feel me? And I guess when I grew up in the ends, it was a bit of a dunya. So a lot of people that I kind of necessarily grew up with, not that many people that I grew up with. I can say too much about that's like their success, but it doesn't necessarily involve the right way or whatever. You know what I mean? If I'm being honest.
okay, cool.
Yeah, I do.
So
Yeah. I
obviously,
don't know, but yeah, go on.
okay, cool. Now obviously when I've done my research about you now,
Yeah.
what came up was that apparently you was lying to people about your name and that. Like, what's all that about? You're telling
Oh,
people your name's Maxwell and that.
that's what I love, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Um,
you're lying to people saying your name's Maxwell and
Or instead of saying my name was
yeah,
Ian, because growing up black,
yeah, yeah,
when them times there, yeah, before this like I was about to say, man, I was gonna say before this fake diversity thing, but basically before this, like before like things were as as good as they are now. Like I don't know, man. Saying my name was Ian, like the amount of times I heard like white people saying you don't look like an Ian and da da da. By the time I was like 15, I was already I was already like disengaged. Like I was already there was you know what I mean. I already wasn't attached to the name just as a black youth. It felt like I used to think, Mum, I'm African. Like why did you call me Ian? Because it don't really fit.
yeah. I
I
never
got
heard of a
yeah,
black guy called Ian. So
I got Afrocentric features. Like I look African as fuck. Like and my name's Ian. You feel me? So at the time growing up, it wasn't necessarily me internally because when I was young, before maybe when I was like 11, 12, I never really felt like that. But it was like a couple years of racism will do it for you. You get me? But yeah, like
yeah,
obviously I got to a point in life where I kind of got over that. But that was the initial like when you're young and impressionable, some of these things are really, they can really take their toll on you or whatever the case may be. So it was like, yeah, bro, yeah, I lied about my name for real. Yeah. But I just used to tell people
mad, mad thing.
I just used to tell people my name was Maxwell because it made sense. It's like I don't want to say my name's Ian, and then we go down this road about all of that and Ian from EastEnders, or I don't want to go down there. You get me? So it's like I would just do what I had to do, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Keep it moving. You know how many people above me
Mm,
in life that never actually knew my real name? Like, I want some, you know what I mean?
okay,
But yeah,
okay,
like
cool.
so for what
Now,
it's worth, it was just an immature thing that I did when I was young, and I didn't deep it, and then eventually I was like, well now, man, that have been your mate for a minute think that your name's Maxwell, and that's a bit mad. Like you just gotta tell them that your name's not. So yeah, silly stuff, really,
yeah.
silly stuff.
Wait, so how long was you lying to these lot? Like throughout your whole time, like secondary school, something like?
Nah, hell nah, man. Obviously, if you went to my school, you knew. You get me? It was like on a gram thing. It was people outside of the area, like type shit.
Okay, so from
Yeah.
Maxwell, you then went. You ended up telling people, "Oh, you're Maxstar now." Like when you started rapping and that.
Oh no, bro. It was like I actually it was when I became Maxsta that happened, because it was like if you went to my school or was from my area, there was no way I
Mm,
could say my name wasn't Ian. You know what I mean? It was like man go to my
yeah,
school, boom, boom, boom,
they would
like,
read your name out and the
yeah, so as
register
far
and
as the
that.
timeline, it was like when I became that, I don't know, man, because at the end of the day, sometimes when you put yourself in a position where lots of people, I think also subconsciously, when you put yourself in a position where lots of people who you don't know are always coming up to you and da da da, I feel like for me, I've always had this feeling where it's like I'm trying to reserve a piece of myself. Like
Mm,
I know it kind of sounds kind of mad, but just like I've always kind of had this thing where if you know me, you know me, and if you don't, then you like completely don't, which doesn't always help me. But and it's not exactly how I move today as an adult. But you get me, like, uh,
mm. Okay, cool. So, what? So who was your favorite artist growing up?
um,
Not rapper, artist.
it's like, do we say like, should I just do all of? Can I only say one? For real?
Say how many you want,
Yeah,
mate. I'll be
yeah, yeah.
honest. I don't mind.
Yeah. So I would say it was like I used to, before I really got into grime. I definitely had this poster in my room that had Dre, Eminem, and 50 like that. That was my shit. When I was a bit like before, yeah, in school, I remember bopping around listening to like Hustler's Ambition and shit like that early, and just like so that sound 50 Dre that shit. But then when you're talking about UK early, Kano is my favorite artist
Mm,
probably of all time. If I was gonna say like my like overall discography of all time, like I'd say my favorite album is obviously like the early stuff, like P's and Q's and that them type of albums. But obviously Kano's always had
mm,
consistency, is always like every single body of work, or there's always been something that I've liked, you get me, because obviously as a listener you can't always like everything, or you're not supposed to anyway. But he's for artists to always have something on their project that I can say I like, yeah, you know. But so yeah, Kano to me was always like kind of like the bar that I wanted to aspire to in my head at some point, I guess.
okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Kano.
And who was your favorite rapper listening to when
What
growing
like
up?
gigs or uh all the Peckham rappers.
Well, what do you mean
But
Peckham
like if we're
rappers?
to
Like
like
who?
yeah
Like what?
on a US thing, then I said like boom boom boom, like yeah, obviously Shady Aftermath, all that type of stuff, just like, and Jay-Z and that. But on a UK thing, it was like gigs, like Shocks, like who else? Gunna D, who else? Yeah, people like that, like, and then obviously better other stuff probably. But if you're talking about best of the best, I'd say a bunch of
Mm,
that when it was like Vietnam and like all of that Pek Nam, the Nam and TG and all of that stuff. Yeah.
mm.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
my favorite
cool.
type of rap when I was growing up. Sure.
Okay. Now, I heard that as a child,
You
you
be
had a
sharing shit.
very
That's yeah. What going?
no, I do, because obviously I have to do research on you, innit? And
Yeah. You did
from
say
the
you was gonna do
research
this.
that I'm doing, yeah. No, listen, from the research that I'm doing, innit?
Yeah.
Obviously, he's telling me that like you was into a lot of different type of like sounds when you was younger. Like you
Yeah.
had an interest for like rock music. Like what? Like
Yeah.
talk,
Hell
talk
yeah.
to me about that. Like what's all that about?
When you said what's all that about? Look, so I would
No, there's
say
nothing wrong with that.
no, no,
Like
no.
rock
I
and
know,
roll,
I
it's
know,
just
you
like
know,
it's
there's
not the
nothing wrong
norm,
with
innit?
it, and I know you know there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the way you talk, man. Like you said, what's all that about? Yeah, like alright,
No,
cool.
I don't mean that. But
Yeah. So
cool.
that. Look, I guess I'd say it started when I went to primary school in Dulwich. And at this time, the primary school, it was called Dog Kennel Hill. I don't know, man. It was like a bunch of kind of like middle class, like white kids and shit. So I was like chilling and like learning their culture and showing them mine type of shit. So I was getting exposed to a lot of like Green Day. Like I didn't really know, I wasn't fucking with Green Day, but like some 41, Nirvana, Red Hot Chili Peppers. a bunch of stuff because also like my best friend Alfred, like his dad was the coach of our football team, so it's like when I'm getting picked up on the Saturdays and Sundays for like, or whatever for training and matches, like I'm just hearing rock music in the car like always, and then that's turning into me being at home, you know, listening to Kerrang, air guitar type shit. I don't know, man. Like 10 years ago, I got my favorite rock band tatted on me, like time ago. Like, but basically, I say that to say, I just, you know, if you grew up when I grew up, like in the like born in the early '90s, it's like there was a time where when you was young, you didn't really know there was a divide, cause there was a lot of meshes. There was like Jay-Z doing stuff with Linkin Park. You get me? So it wasn't really
Mm.
like how it is now, where it's like it's kind of weird because sometimes instead of people meshing cultures, nowadays it's like some people from other cultures may just take another culture or vice versa instead of like, you know what I mean, like them type of collabs where we would all meet each other in the middle with our like holding our cultures with our chests, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I think that at the time when I grew up, it was just it wasn't like it was just part of music as a whole, you know. So also, it's like, yeah. I think that it just happened from being a kid and just like being exposed to it or whatever. And then I just had certain albums that I would always come back to in my life, like this Sum 41, All Killer No Filler, and then Does This Look Infected. There was like a couple things, and then like some Nirvana shit. And when I was young, I always thought it was mad that like Kurt Cobain shot himself in the head, and I always thought like, oh, that's like not like I never thought I was gonna do some shit like that, but I always thought, oh, that's like a martyr like for music. Like he went out for like just believing in like this artistry and this punk shit, and like I think there's a very similar energy between like punk and grime because it's quite like rebellion energy, and I think that's maybe also what I gravitated towards. It was just like it's like it was like the kind of it was kind of like yeah their way of being a rude boy in a way, like, you know. So I feel like it just meshed like in a way, like them times Dizzy Rascal supported like Red Hot Chili Peppers in the early 2000s, like, you know what I mean, like it was like the people that I looked up to were engaging, you know. So it would just open my eyes basically, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um. Now. So, boom.
Mm.
Uh. So, what got you into Gram? How did you actually like get interested in Gram?
You know what? I'd say it was the TV, and the kids at school and the radio. It was like, yeah, it was my brethrens, man. 'Cause I never really had an older sibling that or anyone older in my family because all my family basically just came to this country like first generation. I was the first person in my family to be born in this country, so it was like I was the first like immediate, as in all out of all my cousins, all that type shit. So it was like there wasn't anyone to show me like, oh, just put this on or boom boom boom. Really, I didn't. There weren't older cousins like that. But yeah, basically TV, man.
Okay.
TV, I'd say TV, bro. Channel U, Channel AK, whatever it was at the time. TV, and just go in school, man, and the Bluetooth jack your phone era. Yeah, them times.
Mm.
Like, obviously, you couldn't not be into it because them times that's just what it was like. It was like how like kind of maybe drill is now. It was just like the language that you spoke. So it wasn't more so how did you get into grime. It was maybe like how didn't you get into grime at that time. You know what I mean? More so.
Mm.
I think it was definitely
So, like
yeah,
Gram, it was just the thing to do then.
yeah. Like it was the thing where when I looked on TV, then I looked outside on my like estate at the time. It mirrored like the orders that I could see on the block, like kind of mirrored like what I could see on TV. So it's like it made me feel like I could understand what they was up to or some shit and just decipher the world around me. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was an
Okay.
identity.
Cool.
I think it was an identity thing for me at the time more so than like, and that's why I don't know. That's why maybe certain decisions in my career a lot of times weren't necessarily made for like for somebody whose head's maybe just thinking about business. It was more like this is just like culturally what me and my people kind of represent. So it's like I'm not bothered about certain things that people might think I'm bothered about as long as I've ticked certain boxes. You know what I mean?
Okay. Cool. Now, obviously, like you're doing grime. It's the thing to do. Everyone your age is doing it. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's exciting.
yeah.
You know what I mean. Like like it's this new booming scene. Like
Mhm.
like starting to get played on TV on Channel U.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm pretty sure back then, what there was MySpace back then, innit?
Yeah, boy. Yeah. Yeah, we was on
Yeah, it was
MySpace.
MySpace back then. So when did you start like blowing up as an up and coming grime MC? Like when
Like
did you
probably
start
when I
blowing
was
up?
like 14, like I did a song with Frisco and it got played on the radio, like, and it started getting.
No, but how did you get to do a song? Because like not anyone can just say, "Oh, I want to do a song with Frisco." You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
back then,
oh,
doing a song with
I
Frisco is
navigated,
like,
man. Like, obviously now, it's a lot easier, which is a great thing for like, the new artists of today. It's a lot easier to thingy like get them, but it does actually. It's not. It's still hard, but it's like easier.
yeah, it's still
It's
hard
like it's
because you
still
need to
it's
be a
still
someone.
it's
You know what
still
I
yeah. It's
mean?
still it's like people say it's easy, but I'm gonna just correct myself there. I can't really say that, but basically.
Yeah, it's
Um,
not. It's not.
Flipping. Yeah, at the time, yeah, it was hard to, but it was basically like, you know, I started making music. Then I went to school, and it was like there was a youth that went to my school called Voltage, and he was like,
Oh,
yeah,
Volts.
Volts, and Volts is like 2 years older than me. So it's like imagine like Volts is um, a
Mm,
big MC in my area at the time. You feel me? So at school, someone
yeah.
said to him like, eventually, because I was just one of them hustlers like that. Everyone listened to me spit, listen to me spit. I was one of them annoying niggas like. But basically,
Mm.
got his time. Like there must have been some mad school beef going on. There was like a brawl, like some mad like blacks versus Asian shit that used to go on
I'm
in our
dead.
area, like some mad like 30, 40 man brawl in the middle of the school, and like man's rapping to Voltage. He's like, oh, you're hard, but then it's like the beef proper kicking off, so he's even ran in there or something like that. I can't remember what he did, but basically, it was like that, man. So then I got in the studio. Then Voltage let me come around and record at his. So Voltage, I really owe a lot of like how early like I was able to just get shit done. I owe it to Voltage because he gave me a space to come and like record at his house and shit like that, and meet a lot of other people, and like he put me on tunes with certain man that I ain't met, like, and all of this type of stuff, and just try to push man like. But yeah, basically Voltage started it off, but then it was like when I'm linking bolts, then I'm going and I messaged like Shiz on MySpace. Them times Little Rascals, they was on.
Shiz McNaughty.
Yeah, they was on TV at the time. So like, man's messaged them like, "Yo, bro,
What the Risky
yeah,
Roads
yeah,
DVDs?
yeah, like not even yeah. That it was that time, them times, but also they was on Channel U them times, innit? Like, and they was like bait, like everyone in the schools, like they knew them, like, and it was just like they was popping. You get me? So more time,
Okay.
man's like been one. I was just always like trying to network, so I've messaged Shiz on MySpace when I knew that I had music that was hard enough on my page, that was like ringing off in my local area, on my school, on my borough. I started messaging people from the next borough, Tower Hamlets, and yeah, just messaging different people. So from when I messaged Shiz introduced me to like Bless Beats. Maybe like, I think maybe Bless Beats introduced me to Wiley, but then somebody like one time one of my olders left his phone, and I took Wiley's number out of it, and I just called Wiley and I spat bars to him on the phone like randomly, like never knew me. You get me? So I was just always
Okay.
like, even with Frisco and them North guys, I was the only one from my area and East that was like at that time being like scouring the net for opportunity. And then I saw that Always Recordings had just opened their studio like 2 weeks like ago. Yeah, so I've seen this on the net. I'm like, there's this label in North. They're saying that they've just opened, and I'm thinking that because they're saying they do certain work with artists, if I go there with my hardest song that I can record, yeah, then I bet that I can make someone in there be like, yo, this suit's hard. So I just went there with my hardest song, boom, boom, recorded it. Next minute, the guy, I think his name was like DJ Illness or something. He was like, yo, like Frisco needs to hit.
Oh wait, Chips DJ.
Yeah. Because this is always
Yeah,
record
yeah,
like.
yeah. Big up DJ
Yeah,
Illness.
like so
Big
it's
him
like because
up. Big
obviously
him
the
up.
thing with man is like man kind of
I done a
started.
podcast with
I had
him.
a little time where I was like always recording for a little bit. Like when I was like 14, Chip was like 15, 16 or something. Like we was all at always recordings for a hot little second where it's like they was making us get in the studio, do tunes with each other, and like we know each other from like early basically kind of thing. But basically yeah, one day, so when I've gone there and done the song, Illness has been like, yo, Frisco needs to hear you guys, looking for artists right now, boom boom boom. Next time I think man's come back to Frisco, boom, boom, now. He's like, because I think he was leaving or something, but it was like, look, I'm gonna link you. I'm doing this mixtape called Peng Food or whatever. Like, I need a song with you, boom, boom, boom. You get me? So more time. Like he told me to come back to the studio like the next day. Man, just bunked school, just gone from East Ham, gone on the train to like what is it to Wood Green or whatever. Hopped on the train,
Mm.
gone over there, done the song with him. And then it's like, yeah, but then I'm circulating with certain youths in my ends, and I'm just like, I was just networking, bro. It was like a long kind of like couple of years to like maybe to actually, was it long? Not initially, like, because I was just too on it. Like, I was just one of them guys that was writing 64 bars every day, man. That's really how I did it. If anything, it was just the persistence because I was so passionate. I guess, like, I was always phoning voltage like every day, like, yo, bro, listen to my new bar, listen to my new bar, listen to. I was one of them annoying ass niggas, like I said, just always spitting bars at people, man. So everywhere I go, everyone that knew me, bars, 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 that. Like, so it
Mm.
was just like, and then even with Gets, all these people, it was like every time I would do something, I would capitalize off of doing it. I would just show someone else, like, yo, bro, I've done this. What do you think you could show my man? Or blah, blah, blah. And if I'm
What? So what? Did you show him the song you done with
who
Frisco?
Gets, I can't
Yeah.
even. Do you know what, bro? I'll be honest with you. Actually, by the time I bucked Gets, I bucked Frisco on that when I was 14, and I bucked Gets on that when I was like 17. So like, it
Oh,
took like a
okay. So
couple
that's
years
been
of
quite a
after the
while then.
Frisco thing, kind of just like, yeah, people know me now. We're
Mm.
starting to get a bit of like Logan's playing us on the radio. We're getting like I think some Westwood spins and that, but it's kind of super local and still underground and underground. And then by the time I got to
What? Logan
yeah,
Sama?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Cool.
by the
Calm.
time man's getting to like 17 or whatever, I have I'm on TV now, like or something on my own accord. Bro, I can't even lie. That little timeline there's fuzzy, but basically by the time I was in first year college, that's when I linked up with Gets because he'd seen what I'd already done on like I was on
Mm.
TV, and then Kate, like from that time when I hit TV on set by 17, I had like Kano in my DMs. I had bare people in my DMs, bro. It was just early. It just happened based on maybe God and just timing, innit? God mostly though, but yeah, like I reckon timing and a few different things, God at the forefront, kind of like just yeah. Because other than that, man, these things. It's like sometimes people can be sick. There's a lot of people that I grew up with that was probably better than man. You get me? But sometimes it's just like
Mm.
I don't know, right time, right opportunity, and who doesn't have a baby with the wrong gal first. but anyway, but
Don't
anyway,
get
but anyway,
trapped.
yeah,
Aye. Yeah. No, no, cool. I hear it. I hear it. Now, boom. I just want to ask you this in it because obviously, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, your normal average 14-year-old, like especially if you're black, in it, more time if you're famous, then either I don't know, like you're the next like footballer or something. I don't know. You might be some hot prospect or some
yeah, yeah.
shit. Other than that, at 14, you're not really gonna be famous, innit? Unless, or maybe you're like one of them new superstar kids that does music, innit? Like every now and then you got a new like kid that comes
Yeah.
out and he's a music sensation. But for you, what was it like being famous and known by everyone in your area at 14 years old?
Basically, it was like lava, bro. I'll be real. It was hot, man. Like, it was just hot. Like, it
Huh.
was just hot, bro. Like, because back in them days, it was just hot. And it might be hot now for I think it's hot now for you as well. But basically, it was hot. I ain't gonna lie. It was just hot because I was living in Newham. So it's like, I don't know, man. Maybe there might have been some cool gated community with all the Brit school youth somewhere that man might have, if I was in that situation, it might have been a bunch of encouragement and love. But I'll be real with you, it was just hectic, bro. It was hectic on the street. I cannot lie to you. Just because I rapped, not because of anything else. It was just hectic because like all the youths that was on in the borough, like all the quote unquote like serious gang members or whatever, they had me on the list, bro. I
Fucking
can't
hell.
lie, like man that know me know it was like ducking, it was shankings, it was like I got shanked like once, and it was like
No, no, I
It
heard
was like
about
it
that.
was
We're gonna
hot in
talk
the
about
ends.
that
It
as
was like
well.
before anything grime, it was just hot, bro. Because really and truly, do you know what it was? Because I just moved to the ends, and within a year or two, I was already doing bits here. So it was like there was a lot of people who felt like the top boy of this and that, but they'd never bucked to this new person before, and it was already bare people in the end saying like Maxsta, Maxsta, Maxsta. Do you know what I mean or whatever? So it was like I just had people like obviously
Mm,
Newham is it's a bit of a dodgy place, you know what I mean? So it's
yeah.
like the type of youths that man grew with, it was like it wasn't really it was a lot of like beef, man. It was a lot of like friends turning on man and like just like yeah, bro, like oh, yeah, man, just a lot of like yeah, they was trying to set man up for other youths to lion man and boom boom and you know like just
Nah,
all of that stuff. So I think
yeah.
that time in my life has definitely given me a bit of like I won't even say like at this point PTSD, but I feel like a certain life paranoia that's like I'm always gonna be hyper vigilant. Like I'm
Mm,
always gonna be hyper vigilant because like anytime I'm on any road in life, I promise you I see everybody before they see me. And for the most part, I can feel like I can confidently say that. But that's just like when you grow up in the ends and you become a target because you're doing something. Unfortunately, in them times, it was more so that than anything else. I feel like, and anyone that grew up with me could probably vouch. But yeah, a lot of them times it was dark, man. It was just the youths that are rolled in the ends that think, what, hey, my man thinks he's on and boom, boom, boom. And then it's like, I don't know, some girl saying your name at some party and then my man's touched, you get it, and whatever. I don't know, bro. You just end up with people that you don't even know their name. But that's the thing. I lived a life where it's like I don't know people, but they know man. So sometimes it might be someone's coming up to man about music, but some more time it's like, of course, mostly it's about music, but there's always gonna be that in my head. Sometimes now, as a just like a mature man, I don't really like walk around thinking that shit. I just be like people buck me in life, and they're just like, oh my god, Max, you're so cool. Like you're bare cool. Like, I didn't realize you. I just step around jiggy in life because, like I said earlier, I'm doing like certain other things. So it's like when I do step around, I just step around jiggy, man. Anyone that see me outside, they know.
nah, I hear that still. Now, obviously, you're from the Channel U era, innit? Now, obviously, Channel U's like our Link Up TV, our GRM
Yeah.
Daily, or Press Play, or Mixtape Madness. You know what I mean? That's what like Channel U. Obviously, it turned into Channel AKA later on, but I want to ask you firsthand, yeah, because obviously I'm not a musician, and I used to watch Channel U and Channel AK back then. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But obviously you're an artist that you used to be on there. Like I used to see you in it, and I'm not gonna lie. Like my older brother, he used to listen to like a lot of grime and that back then, and I used to listen to it because that was like the sound of
That was the
like
sound of the
the
streets,
youth,
man.
innit? That was the thing to listen to.
Yeah,
You know what I
man.
mean? Like so, I remember I used to see you on there all the time, innit? And I used to see the sky, and I'd be like, oh yeah, like why are they always playing the sky like? But there were a couple of the songs like were going in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because I knew your name was Maxstar, like a name like
Yeah.
Maxstar, because there's one youth from my ends called Maxstar too, and so
Okay.
that name there, like, it's
Where
gonna,
you?
it's
What ends you
gonna
from again?
catch on. I'm from
Okay.
Northwest. I'm
Okay.
from
Okay. So
Harlesden.
no.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, obviously, I like from back then, I used to like know about you, like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, easy, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. But how was it like being on Channel U, and what was that whole era like as an artist trying to get on Channel U and the people that was on there and the
I
people
look.
that
A
worked
lot of like
there?
most of us at that point was getting no bread for that shit, bro. There was no breach in the game at that point for a lot of guys. Like,
Mm,
and I'm talking like I'm pretty sure when I was around Criminal when he was at his most popping doing Don't Phone Me and that, I'm sure you could have caught him out for like 3 bills, you know, like or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like now if an artist is popping, it's like you might catch him out for 30 real quick. But that's what I will say. I will say that
mm,
it was done for the love more so than and you know the cultural kind of intellectual property kind of I guess and that's not a bad thing because at the end of the day, that's we all knew what we was doing at the time. You get me, and we all knew like kind of what the bar was. The bar wasn't and people hadn't been as successful in certain heights to where everybody knew that you could do certain things. But that's because we wasn't supposed to know that at the time. We were supposed to be in that time. You get me? But I would
mm,
say, like, yeah, it was just that the biggest difference or what it was like there was bread, but it was like everyone was probably still shot in and like Probably not even shotting. You know what I mean? Just shotting. Like, so, but like, yeah, man. It was like it was just like it was cultural, man, and I think it was great, and I think people really enjoyed it, man. And I think it's one of them times where you can't really quantify necessarily how many people played a song through them Bluetooth exchanges. You get me, or whatever. So it's like
Mm.
there will be a lot of I feel like for me personally, as a youth who like was more like started off as a fan, especially in them times. I'd say there's a lot of unsung heroes from the Bluetooth grime. There's probably some lost files, yeah, that certain youths will never hear, and plus some of them mix downs where voice notes are better now on the iPhone. You get me? So
Fucking hell.
like it's like yeah, some of them mix downs could be probably couldn't even find them stems and revive that shit. But like I remember even like if you take it back like not as far back, but even them songs like Hands in the Air, that was the rhythms of the summer. And then it's like when I'll be in South, because I was one of them youths, you might catch me in South, you might catch me in North, you might catch me in Barnet with some Barnet youths, you might catch me in East or something, you know, like kind of thing. So it's like when I'm in South, man, seeing some of these youths that's in Hands in the Air, I'm looking them times there, man's looking at them like celebrities, you get it. So that's what I'm
Mm.
saying. It was kind of like
Okay.
cultural. I guess you could look back and call it cultural intellectual property or some shit. Because that's really because these youths had a big impact on the culture, and like them songs were songs of the summer to some extent. You know what I mean?
Mm.
In that climate of youth Britain, but without social media and like certain metrics, you wouldn't necessarily be able to quantify the actual, I don't know what they call it. It's like quantitative and qualitative data. You wouldn't be able to get the number one. Yeah. So that's all I can say about that. But I say it was a fun time, and I was inspired for sure. As a young kid, I was inspired because I would say that all them songs, a bunch of them songs on Channel U, all sounded different. So maybe not as good as like music has, well, genuinely probably obviously not as good as music has come on to be today. Just given mixed down everything else and just artists and their pen games getting better. But like, I think there was a lot of like innovation, man. That was probably the best time of my life as an artist when it was just actually fun and it wasn't for
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Now I'm gonna ask you this,
Mhm.
yeah. So when did you first get your record deal? Your first ever record
Probably,
deal?
I think
Just talk to me
I
about
was like
that.
18, 19, 19, no,
Mm.
19, probably like 19. Yeah.
Oh, actually, you
Go
know
on.
what? Don't answer that. Answer that
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
I'm gonna ask you this, yeah.
Mm.
So when did you join Mucky
That's
Wolfpack?
early, man, like 13, 14. Yeah.
Okay, so how did you get into Mucky Wolfpack? Because I heard something about you sent your music to God's Gift or something like
Nah,
that.
man. Nah, nah.
So how did you get into Mucky Wolfpack?
Um,
Because obviously there was a gang in it, like
yeah.
music. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we was gang
there was
dogs.
a bowl
So
in it.
yeah, that was a gang.
There was a
Yeah.
bowl, and obviously like you live in East Ham and you're joining like what this gang and bowl. So yeah, no, because obviously I've been bowl in it. Yeah, big up bowl.
But yeah, basically,
Yeah,
you
big
know
them up.
enough to know that it was probably more of a gang than a music thing or something. I don't know, to like for what it's worth. But
Nah, not really. I found out about Mucky Wolfpack because I knew about God's Gift and that,
yeah.
but I found out about Mucky Wolfpack because I know they had some song called "Bow for the Wolves" or
Yeah.
whatever.
Big tune, man. Shout out to Val for the
Yeah,
Wolves.
bow for the
I can't
yeah,
lie.
bow for the
Those are the
Wolves.
rhythms. Like even now, like it's like man will never disrespect anything from that era. You feel me? But yeah, bro. Basically, I guess if you want to say how did I end up in that situation, when my ends got
Mm.
hot, like I had so much problems in Newham. Like, and I'm talking when I say problems, I mean
What at that age,
yeah. At
mate?
14, I had people coming to my school to ride out on me like maybe once a month.
Fucking
Like, I'll
hell.
be honest with you, like, a man that went to my school, maybe once a month is drastic, maybe, but let's say to like a bunch of times, yeah, there was somebody's come to.
No, do you know what it is? Because I've witnessed ops coming to my school looking for certain
Yeah,
members,
bro,
innit?
man was one
Not
of them
me.
guys, bro.
I've witnessed that. I know what
Man
that's
was one of
like, innit?
them
Like they're
guys,
proper
bro.
like breaking in and
Yeah, man
that.
was one of them
Like doing a
guys, yeah,
mad
with like
thing.
there's youths on peds, yeah, youths on peds are driving into man's school and that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's actually happened
Fucking
one
hell.
time. You get it, like after school or whatever the case may be. So it's like, yeah, for like I said, man, Newham is it's the gutter. Well, it was anyway. It's now I think, but basically, bro, like yeah. What was the question again?
So how did you
Oh yeah,
join
so
Mucky
yeah, bro.
Wolfpack?
Basically, my ends got hot for me, bro. Like I said, people were riding out to my school, all these different things. It was hot, bro. One time, even some girls, a bunch of girls, rode out on man because I called it
Fucking
did
hell.
that one was like because I called a girl a grasshopper or something on MSN, and that was I don't even know what that was all about, but that was the
Bro,
lightest one of
that.
them all, but it was like nine girls, bro. Silly stuff, and so yeah, man. It was just my ends was hot for me. Everything was hot. It was like I can't even. If I was to try and tell you how hot it was, we could be here till tomorrow. But to just simplify it, these Bow youths, like through this music thing and some of the older people in Bow, it got to a point where I once had a problem in Newham, and I called some of the Bow youths, like swingers, boom, boom, boom. These times I'm in like, yeah, 14, 15. I called them. They rode out in like 10 minutes, hopped in a cab, came, found the youth, boom, boom, boom type stuff, all of that. But my point is, it just became like people from other ends, because I was connecting with the Bow youths more on a music thing, and I'll be real, and people from my area was getting a bit jealous, like, right, he's over there with them youths that are on TV and boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? It was all kind of just like,
Mm,
just childhood kind of like, if they can't get down with it with man, if I can't, it's like if I'm not bringing man, then I'm a op basically, and it's like the quality control. Man was trying to keep that as a thing them times, so it's like I wasn't just like you couldn't just roll like that. You know what I mean on a music
mm,
thing all the time. Some of my brethren could, but yeah, basically I think so. I don't know, bro. I was looking for a new home anyway or something at the time, and it just so happened that I built this rapport with Shiz, and so one day he's like, if you want to join Wolfpack, you got to clash this boy Steamo on like Roman Road or whatever, like the main road with Bo.
yeah, Roman Road.
So man's gone, clashed the youth on like a Saturday, bare youths on the road, like 30 youths just out on the road, olders, youngers. Man's gone, clashed the youth, like, and like I won the clash. That's my boy, like still to this day. But like I won the
Mm,
clash, so I think they kicked him out and they brought me and I got in that day. Yeah,
mad
because you
thing.
know shit was harsh that them times. Like imagine that you lose a clash, you're out of the crew you've been in for like a couple years. But
Mad.
yeah,
Mad.
I don't know, but yeah, that's my boy, man, and he went on to do great things anyway. So I guess he didn't really need to do that at the time. But yeah, man, that's all it was, man. Just some little silly stuff, grand politics and shifting about. But a lot of the Bow youths, I was just fascinated by the fact that I was in East London and boom, 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 and I just had I made a lot of real life, like long term friends, and just in the borough of Tower Hamlets is like I got a lot
Mm,
of like family and love and like in that borough, like for real. And like nowadays, I don't really go to Newham. I go to Tower Hamlets. You get me? If I cut through, you get me? It's one of those
mm.
ones.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Cool.
I got no
So
business
you
being in.
joined Mucky Wolfpack
Yeah.
now. What made you then go solo? Because you ended up leaving Mucky Wolfpack, innit? You ended up going back
Yeah, bro.
solo again.
I
So
don't know,
like,
man.
what made you get
I
like?
think I always
Why
had
did you
that
do that?
syndrome of like because I like even I don't know like moving from East already. I felt quite detached because I'd always been in Peckham and I had to move from like where I'd always been and I didn't have no say in it. So when I've moved to East just as a child, it's like I don't have that same level of like because I guess maybe I was a bit upset with like just displacement. So in general, I
Mm,
feel like I never found a home in a group of friends ever. Like not like just that offer that one thing. And obviously I got brethren, you know what I mean? But I never found this permanent home where like man's well, we've just been friends for 20 years and we've always linked. Like you get me? It was always kind of like I'm on a mission and um and that's a lonely like kind of way to live at times, you know what I mean? But like obviously I had dogs around me, but I'm saying for the most part, it was kind of like I'm on a mission. So it's either like we're moving and grooving or I'm really like, because I was never on some, yo, I'm trying to duck out. It was always like, look, I left Wolfpack, but me and Chiz was like a tag team, like years after, you get me? It was kind of like, yeah, man, it was just like what you do, man, when you need to do what you can see, but other people can't. Not even saying that's like a one thing's good or one thing's bad, but you get me? Like, I just felt like I was linking Frisco and that over there. I got da da da. I was like, I was just bouncing around, bro. I'll be real. I
mm.
was just bouncing around, like
Okay.
just like getting out there because people like liked man in person. You get me? Like everyone took to man, so I felt like I just had more access. I guess I just had
Mm.
more access because people were shouting me more or something. Not even like
Okay,
that. I was
cool.
putting myself out there more. A lot of my brethren just wanted to stay in the ends. When I would tell East youths, "Oh, let's go to North," they don't want to leave. They don't want to leave the borough. When I would tell, like, you know what I mean? When I would tell certain man, "Come link me in East," they're like, "Oh, bro, you're from there. I don't know." You get me? So it was like I was one of them fearless youths, bro. That was just like. It's only like, and obviously it always got sticky in every different ends in North and outside Wood Green. Them times was hot. Like outside, the man trying to go buy Air Forces on that strip. That shit was hot. Got these youths trying to pressure man, and you know what I mean. Like like
Mm,
niggas tried to
mm,
pressure man. Probably there's probably only 20% of postcodes in this country that when man was young. I mean, in London, should I say
mm,
that when man was young, I didn't step and like someone said, "Hey, bro, what you doing there?" You get me? I was just about man.
mm. Okay, okay, cool. All right, cool. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna ask you about your record deal again, innit? Because obviously that was your first record deal.
Yeah,
Now, so your record deal you signed with Just Jam, which was owned by what's his name? Sorry, R.I.P. Oh my god, I can't even. Yo, his name's left my head, bro.
Jamal Edwards. Yeah,
Jamal
yeah,
Edwards, bro. Yo, sorry,
yeah.
Jamal.
You're
All
just
right.
twatting about.
Nah, that's
Yeah,
a bad one, bro.
you're just
Nah,
twatting
that's not
about.
even funny. I ain't even trying to laugh,
Nah, I
man.
know
That's
you're
a
not.
bad thing.
I know you're not
R.I.P.
as well. You're
Jamal,
just
man.
twatting about,
I big up
fam.
Jamal, bro. I big you up,
But
bro.
yeah, listen.
I'm
Yeah,
dead.
rest in
Nah.
peace, Jamal. First and
So,
foremost, for sure.
so no, R.I.P. Jamal, innit? But he's from my bits as
Yeah,
well. But rest in peace,
yeah,
man. But hey, listen. So you signed to Just Jam,
yeah,
innit?
yeah,
You signed to Just Jam, which was owned by Jamal
yeah,
Edwards, which was a subsidiary label
yeah,
under Sony,
yeah.
innit? So like, what was that like, and how did that come about? Because like from the looks of it, from what I'm seeing, that was quite big. To be fair.
Do you know what? Yeah.
So yeah, just talk to me
Now
about
that
that.
I'm like just in a mature place, I feel like I can articulate things like this, in a way that's just respectful and just truthful.
Mm, mm.
Um, that,
Wait,
yeah,
hold on. Before you answer
yeah.
that, everyone read. So we've got over
Come
100
on,
people in
come
here right
on,
now.
come on.
Everyone retweet this space. Everyone retweet this space. Tweet all your thoughts on a hashtag as well, innit? Everyone retweet this space and tweet all your thoughts on a hashtag. Alright, cool. Go on, Maxsta.
What was that word again? Sorry, cuz.
So you just signed your
Oh
deal with
yeah.
Sony,
Oh
innit? So
shit. Yeah,
what was that
that
like?
was look. I gotta put it to you like this, bro. Because I feel like the only reason why I have to be honest here is because I feel that for a lot of the things that I've experienced, the way I like to move as a person, I think that is I've always been quite honest about how things have gone with people because I feel that somebody who's supposed to do go further than man or just learn from whatever I've gone through is needs to hear like maybe like exactly that like no with no source on it type shit like so yeah bro 50-50 it was 50% one of the best things I did and then it was 50% one of the worst or the worst like move that I made in some sense, um and I don't know, I guess it's hard to kind of like um say it so concisely, but basically from the day that I got signed 3 weeks later the guy who signed Jamal, the MD, a guy called Charlie Lysett, who now runs a company called like Lucid Online and like Garrett and like Graduation, they do like campaigns for like Brent and all these people, but basically this guy.
Is Graduation a record
Something like
label?
that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's like you can submit your music to them,
yeah,
innit?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
So
go on.
basically, bro, what happened? Yeah, that guy. As soon as we signed the deal, yeah, the guy that gave Jamal the deal got fired. So basically, 3 weeks
Damn.
into the deal, yeah, the MD, the head of the record label's been fired, and they're saying to me, "Yo, bro, there's no label." And this is like January, yeah. So they're saying to me they're like to me,
Mm,
"Yo, bro, there's basically no label till next year. So you're contractually signed, yeah. You can't do anything, you can't release any music because you're contractually signed, but you have to wait till like
for a
yeah,
whole
you have to
year.
wait till next year January before you can
No,
make music because they said that
release
the new
music.
people, the new managing director that's coming, he wants to work with you. You get me? But this is the thing,
Mm,
yeah. Obviously, when they're saying record label, like boom, 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 like what I saw personally, for the most part, obviously we had Sony's services like on some like label services kind of thing to some extent. Yeah, they was involved, but a lot of the times it was like Jamal had like a desk like with one person, like some woman called Pia or something, and yeah, like I guess I say that to just say on the like the premise of it was it looked a lot bigger on the outside than like what was being facilitated on the inside, but I think we just did the best we could with it regardless. So what I say to that is like I made a lot of money. I got to send my mum all around the world and put her in all of like the top hotels and just like buy all the furniture in my parents' house and like boom boom boom. You get me? Like as an African, I think that shit was really important to me. Even though I might have been programmed, I think they might have finessed me a bit, but as well. But like as a young African, I was proud to say that, yeah, man. Anything you could at the time you couldn't even see the type of money on me that might have been playing with because I was just holding back, doing stuff for my family. You get me? I wasn't like we didn't have to as rappers. We didn't have to like have like mad chains on that, so we didn't have to. We could just like hold on to that 10K and whatever, boom, 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 and shit. You know what I mean? But
What is that? Is that the advance
not
that they gave
10K.
you?
Hell no, hell no. I'm just saying, like, as in that 10K for the chain, like that. We could just
Oh,
hold on to
what?
that. Yeah,
Oh,
we could just hold on
okay,
to that. But basically, bro,
okay.
like, what I'm saying is, yeah, man. So now, let's say, cool. In the time when this guy's been fired, yeah, imagine man's having to run around parading as the mascot for this label. Yeah,
Fucking hell.
hey, man's having to.
With no music
Yeah, man's having
released.
to run around parading, going to these parties. Oh, everyone's coming up to me. Congrats, congrats. I'm like, bro, if you only knew what I can't say, and I don't really even care to say, because even if I tell you, you can't help me. Like, yeah, it was like it was basically like very mad in regards to. I feel like that's why I've always been happy to kind of like no matter what maybe the outside perception might be on my career, where I am in the world, wherever the kid, like I've always been cool to da 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 because I think, bruv, you never knew the perception in the first place. You just saw stuff and you think that you might know, but you don't know the stress that they put us under to make that shit happen. But other than that, like I
Yeah.
said, so now eventually, long story short, after a year of parading around, like not getting the next money from the advance yet, just kind of waiting and going to parties like and everyone saying oh da 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 you signed to Jamal, which was great because you know what, a few opportunities came from that where there was other money that got made if I'm being honest, like so. And being around Jamal, I
Mm,
soaked up mad game, fucking bad boy in terms of innovation and everything that he was trying to do. And even when I say oh only gave him a table da da da, that's not me watering him down. That's me telling you that they would like as much as it might have been at that time looked like so big. It's not like they gave us even two members of staff that directly report to us. You get me? The Just Jam
mm,
label. Obviously, at the end of the day, anyone who works in the industry knows that what I'm saying isn't even like shocking. It's just like you had an imprint at a label. Sometimes an imprint isn't like necessarily even anyone in the label. It's just you by yourself that runs around and you come and meet the label. But I think that for Jamal it was his first time having a record label. So when they fired the MD, Jamal didn't really know what to do with me. So like all we
mm,
could do was kind of like go to parties and like take pictures and then like do some of the Adidas campaigns and just like there was a couple things, you get me, but like not it was I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
like we was getting into situations, yeah, where I won't even say the name, if you know you know, but like there was times where it was getting so tense with how like that period went that my manager was like, really trying to pull Jamal to the side and like pat a man and like not like that, but just like because we was all one, but like it was getting really frustrating because they put all this pressure on Jamal. Like, yeah, you got a label, da da da, but it was like at the end of the day, Jamal was just the first of his kind who didn't have enough real support yet. He just had people. He just had
Mm,
people telling him, "Yo, do this," giving him the bread for it, and not necessarily for facilitating it down to the T. You know what I mean? Like putting him, dropping him in
mm,
it, kind of thing, or whatever. So I would say, like, but at the end of the day, like, I learned a lot from Jamal and being around him and some of the type of people. Like, bro, I can't lie. There was one evening we was in a spot with Ross Clark, Bill Clinton, bro, just chilling. You get it? Like, there's some things that I had access to and saw in regards to just information and game from like just inner just like geniuses in the world that conversations that I got to have. I think the best things about being signed, let me just like, because let me not drag this question on. The best things about being signed, maybe that I experienced, seeing the top level of how labels work, learning that
Mm.
artists can be tax write-offs, like all that stuff. I knew that shit, like all the stuff when people be coming out saying about masters and he owns it, that like man kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
knew that, like maybe I don't know, bro, in 2011, thankfully, because I was there at a top level, kind of getting to see how certain things get run and boom 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 from early, and just seeing and then coming and seeing what happens to artists in the game. But basically I'd say knowledge, then the money was good, and then I got to do things like I got to go to America and record in the same booth where Michael Jackson recorded Thriller. I got to I don't know, bro. I got to do some sessions with some guy who used to record with Tupac, and he was telling my dad, like, I brought my dad to the Hollywood sessions them times. He was telling my dad, like, yeah, your son is like a UK Jay-Z, man, like da da da. Like, I got
Mm.
to like, there's certain things that I did, and where it's like at the time of my life that I did them, they gave man such empowerment that I feel like I've got a kind of like, maybe I've always had it, or maybe things have developed. Like it's like, I guess maybe with all the nuances and ups and downs in life, I've always been able to kind of like have this core of like kind of know who I am, and I know that I'm capable of doing good things and sick things, and it's just about when, where, and how I feel and what I actually want to do. You know what I mean? So yeah, there was a
Yeah.
few. It was like shit like that was good, but I can't lie. They basically fucked man over because of all the things that happened behind the scenes that I didn't speak about at the time. It was like when the new guy came, then it was fuckery. Then I'm having a meeting, they're sitting me down with a Radio 1 playlist, and they're saying, yeah, you need to make a song that fits into this. Yeah, boom, 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 yeah, this, yeah, that. It was just like, it was all like, I wanted to make an album. They kept putting me in sessions to do a single. Boom, 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 boom. They totally misunderstood like what I was trying to do, and they just didn't really, like, they just took long with bare things. And it was like, bro, in the space of when the guy, imagine now, so the new guys come in a year later, it's taken them in the space of 2 years, man's dropped 3 singles. But and you already wasted it, and you already
Okay.
wasted 1 year of man's thing in a time where man actually popped off. Do you get it? So it's
Mm.
like so
Okay.
for me, I'm not somebody who's actually better about that though. I just think like the game is the game, man, and the way I look at life is I'm
No, but did they benefit off of doing what they did to
hell
you though?
no, because at the end of the day, bro,
So
it's
so
like,
then how so then how do you think they finessed you then if they
what do you
didn't
mean
even
finesse?
benefit off of that?
Like
Because
finesse? Well, who did I say finesse me?
no, because you said that. Well, you said that they like they bumped you or
Oh,
like
I mean in
so
terms
like
of
what?
that, just like telling you you're signed and then a
Yeah.
label disappears. That's finessing you because you got told something that wasn't real. Do you get my point?
What? So
Like,
do you think that they just signed you
no,
on
I'm not, it
and
don't
they
it
put
didn't
you
happen
on
on
some
purpose,
sort
but
of
it's still a finesse. Do you get my point? It don't have to be intentional.
yeah
Like, it don't have
yeah
to be like,
yeah.
alright, cool. Like, I could finesse you without like trying to, and then I can like I could like clock at the end of the day, like, raw, my man's,
No, because labels
yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah. But
Labels sign
yeah,
artists and then
yeah, no,
they
look,
shelf their
no, you
music
see,
and
the thing is, like, mostly, a lot of times, unfortunately, artists in certain like smaller niche scenes, if you're comparing them to the major artists like Ed and all of that,
mm,
you might be in the tax write-off like section. I was probably like a tax write-off as well. But like, if you're a tax write-off, it's like at the end of the day, say for instance, when scenes are popping, yeah, labels come in and everyone gets a deal. So when man got signed, my brethrens got signed, everyone I knew was fucking signed. You get me? But it's because
mm,
labels play this game of market share, and the label with the most market share at the end of the year, like that label owner gets like the bonus or whatever type shit because he's kind of won the war of UMG versus Warner versus the. You get me?
yeah
And
yeah yeah.
it's like at the end of the day, when they're coming in and signing everyone, they're not signing everyone because boom, boom, boom. They're signing everyone because, hey guys, this is a moment. We know you're more than likely, like at least 70, 80% of you lot are gonna just do two single deals, spend your 100K on getting a mortgage that you're not gonna be able to have in 4 years, and boom, boom, boom. But basically, the way our system works, we need you anyway for the numbers. So just come in and yeah, we'll let you come in when we know that you might have a zombie knife in your leg, but you won't be here maybe for too long anyway. So, like, boom, boom, boom. You get me? Like, it's a cold game in regards to that. But at the end of the day, business is business, isn't it? So for me, I would
Yeah.
say at the end of the day, I'm not complaining because I signed that deal, I made the money, boom, 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 and I got the experience. I'm just telling you, like, these were the pitfalls in regards to like kind of just having a label deal where it was a bit of a shag, and like you're constantly waiting on things that take long, and it's just, but on the outside you're being amplified like, oh man, you've got all the opportunity in the world, but like behind the scenes you're being quite restricted. It was like, I'd say
Mm.
for a young person, that was probably the first time I was actually depressed, like just because that year I was in my crib for the most part, because I was just like, what the fuck's going on? Because you know, in life they tell you if you do everything right and you follow the thing, da da da, it's meant to go a certain way. But then, like at the end of the day, when I look now and I see that certain things are still happening to artists and blah blah blah, and there's still, I see that there's a pattern. It's just that when I was like, when it was happening to us a lot, there was no shade bar or whatever the case may be, or
Yeah, yeah,
niggas
yeah,
wasn't like
yeah, yeah.
like going in and showing the
You
emails,
wouldn't be
and
able to see
yeah,
anyone
yeah,
else that's
yeah, like
going
you
through the
wouldn't, yeah,
same
like you
shit.
wouldn't be
Like,
able
yeah,
to, you
yeah.
might even think that you're the only one that's getting finessed just because you're not good enough or whatever the case may be.
But nowadays, that's the norm.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
seeing that a lot
yeah,
nowadays.
yeah. And the truth is, it was a norm back then. But basically, even I remember when I got dropped, yeah, I was always raw about shit, bro. I didn't care when I got dropped. I couldn't wait to get dropped at a certain point. So on the day when I got dropped, I tweeted it. I was like, oh shit, sorry. I was like, this is, I said something like to the words of like, you know, this is probably the first time in my career that I feel like I failed, but just letting you know, guys, on Twitter, like I've been dropped from my label and blah blah blah. I had bare artists that's bigger than man DMing me saying, "Yo, bro, delete that tweet, bro. Like you can't be saying that, bro, because the stigma, bro." I'm just thinking, oh, you think I give a fuck about? I barely give a fuck about this music thing. Not like that, but like I don't know, bro. Like I've got other options in life, so I'm not like somebody who's like, if this don't work, I'm gonna hit
Mm.
the triz that, like I've got bare options in
Yeah,
life,
yeah,
but just
yeah, yeah.
things that I can do in it as an educated black man or whatever the case may be. So I've never like, I've always, and that's how my life's always been. Like everyone, my family, everyone that knows me knows Ian's intelligent. If he wants to be a lawyer, he could be a lawyer, whatever the case may be. You get it? So that's like, it's all, even when
Mm.
I've been doing music, my parents have always looked at that. It's never been looked at like the best thing I can do. It's always been looked at like, oh, is
Yeah,
it
yeah,
Ian? Is that
yeah.
what you're choosing to do with all your brains? Okay, fair enough. Obviously, you're Ian, so you're gonna make it work. Like that's how my family look at me. You get it? Like, so yeah,
Yeah,
man. I would
yeah.
say at the end of the day, I will say it how it is. But at the same time, I think the pros was the visibility, because I'm always able to use that and monetize that in different ways. Um, but
Mm.
um, but yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. There was a lot of bullshit, but it's just like we'll save that for a book about my life or something one day. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, nah, defo. Nah, your first song on the label was East London is back.
No, no, no,
Uh,
no, no. That
so
was independent.
wasn't that the
That
first
was
one?
independent. Somebody just,
That was
yeah, yeah,
independent,
yeah. That
yeah.
was all independent. Yeah,
Okay, now was that before you signed
yeah,
the
bro.
deal?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
It's
so
out
what
there,
made
man.
you do that song?
You know what? I was a street youth that was just on the roads, bro. Like with all my friends, not necessarily doing the worst things, any even, but I mean, just like the streets was my habitat. All my brethren was probably doing worse shit
Mm.
than man. I had deep ties with like the streets. You get me, in a sense of like that's just my dogs, yeah. So it's like, and that's like how I'm circulating. So it's like I'm like I'm in a position where it's like, maybe if something happens in East Ham at that time when I'm in year 10, it's like I could call like tallest, I could call tallest trap star, and something could happen to you, and I don't have to do nothing.
Oh yeah, I know him.
From
Vector
Beckton.
type
Yeah,
still,
like I can
yeah.
call like, cause them times
Yeah.
when I was like 14, he was my older son. So say for instance, I could call him and something could happen to you, and I don't even have to do nothing. So it's like I had a good relationship because
Mm.
I was like a kind of starboy MC for the area. You get me? So it's like all my brethren loved me. I was talking that talk. You get me? So it was like, I guess when I did that song, I did it because I was like, hail up the fucking dogs, man. I guess as a young person, I was just like, I just wanted to rep for the place that I've been, because I've been 10 toes in like all the bare different, like, apart from certain places like Hackney and da da da, like on my side of the water, I've 10 toes a lot of like
Mm.
places and boom, boom, boom. So it was just like it was also like at that time, I felt like if you was from my area or Tower Hamlets and you didn't know about my name, yeah, you probably wasn't outside. That's how I felt. Yeah, so
Okay.
it was just like a little young bravado. You know, Grime is based on that shit, so it was like just that, man.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
really and truly, I was in the booth making a song, and it was my first session where I got to link up with Danny Weed, and then I forgot to write
Mm.
a chorus for the song. So while he was like to me, "You got a chorus, yeah?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." Then I remembered that I didn't. So while I was in the booth, because I was just trying to impress him, while I'm rapping the first bar, I'm just writing the chorus on my phone. So by the time I finished rapping the bar, like after, like I could just
Mm.
do the chorus. You get me? So I just did the chorus like straight. off of like kind of putting myself in a position to like just have to work in it, and then I did it, man, and it was cool, man. It was a good vibe. Started getting played on Radio One. Started getting me like my first little looks, you know, the Adidas clothes, the Nike clothes, and you know, like the cool little steps that start
Yeah.
telling you, oh shit, like you might have arrived. You know what I mean? Type shit. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The boxes of the crepes and all that dumb shit. But like
Mm.
yeah, man. That was early. That was shout out to Corey Johnson. That was his. He was like helping me do that them times.
Okay. Now, that song paved the way for a mixtape called
The Max
the
tape.
Max
Yeah, yeah,
Tape. And apparently, well, from what I'm hearing, that commercially done very well.
yeah. I think
Like it outsold first week. Apparently,
yeah. I think like it's sold like.
it sold out. It sold out
It
first
was
week.
like
That's
three,
what
yeah,
it
and
said.
it sold out like it was like 3,500 or 3,000, like in between. That was the mixtape sold the first week.
Mad. Wait, what?
Like 3,000 copies. The mixtape sold first week. 3,500 in
Okay,
between
no.
that, yeah, bro.
And do you know what? Do you know what it is? I maxed out. Do you know what it
Go
is?
on.
Yeah. 'Cause obviously, I've had bare Grime MCs on here,
Mhm.
innit? And when it gets to me asking them about their first week
Yeah.
sales, they can't even answer the
Yeah, but that's
question,
because
bro.
I was
Like
at that.
when I,
Yeah, sorry to cut you, bro, but at that age, I was the
mm,
one. No parents, no da da da. I was the one booking the meetings with the independent distributors that manufacture the CDs. Going this place, going. I was the one that
mm,
was patterning it. You get it? So you
mm,
couldn't tell
mm,
me something about it that I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I
fucking
was the one
no.
that was going from East Ham all the way to fucking end of that train line to West
There's no
London. Yeah,
excuses.
bro.
There's
I
no
was the one that was
excuses,
getting on that
bro.
train doing that fucking hour 45 minute journey. Then them two guys, they even finessed me there for the God will pay them anyway. But yeah, safe. Yeah, man. Look, like I
Fucking
said,
no.
bro, more time, everything
Guys,
was a
you just
finesse.
heard what you said.
Yeah, what?
You just heard what you said,
Yeah,
guys. What? Over 3,000
yeah,
copies
yeah.
first week.
Yeah, but
Guys, there's no
because
excuses.
obviously I don't know how it works now. Maybe there was less artists, because
It's easier
yeah,
now,
maybe there
bro.
was less
Bro,
artists,
it's
like or something
easier.
when I was doing it, so we
Uh,
had more spotlight individually. Like, you know what I mean?
mm,
Maybe if you want to call that market share, potentially. If you and I was
mm,
one of the only people that on my in my era that put out a mixtape at that time that you could go and buy it and stuff. A lot of people was doing it though. Now, I lied. Definitely wasn't the only one. I was the only one that did it at that level per se, maybe. But
mm.
like yeah, man. Like man was a businessman. Like man was running up and down when niggas weren't seeing me. I don't know where they think I was, but I was getting to it, finding people on the internet, tracking them down, getting my shit distributed. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm learning
Mm,
the ins and outs of this thing. You feel me?
mm.
Mm.
Okay. Now that's crazy because if you ask a Grime MC of today's day how much they sold first week, like they're sending a dub your way the following day,
So is that what
and
is that what
they
is that
can't
what
tell
they're
you
doing
their
to you?
numbers, but they want to send a dub. That
Do you
huh?
know what, man? Do you know what I think? Yeah, the worst thing we can do as artists or as a scene, the worst you don't want to put yourself in a position. Yeah, you see in the UK, sometimes it's like like in America. Yeah, I know this is far fetched because this ain't America. All right, I get that. But
Mm.
when you got like in America, Charlemagne will just tell you your shit was wax to your face on the radio, whether you're like kind of rolled
Word.
or boom, boom, boom. But you see here, because we live
Mm.
under this thing where the road youths got the church youths on lock, yeah, and the church youths working all the you get it in all the places and that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We live in this place where it's kind of like you can never get a real cultural shift if everybody's scared to speak up because they might not get invited to the Hennessy party, or they might see a rapper
Yeah.
at the Hennessy party and they might put the Hennessy on their bottle on their head. You get me, like, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, yeah, like see,
Word.
because but
Word.
and obviously I understand that, bro. If you're like, if like it's great to be like a square in life. It's great to not be like to just not be on badness. There's nothing wrong with it. But I'm saying
Mm.
that those I think that we live in a place where a lot of the maybe now even culturally the music's very road and boom boom, but a lot of these road youths, that whole mind frame, that's where I come from and all my brethren. So I get it. They don't give a fuck about. They don't respect people like that. Yeah, and you can't
Mm.
get them to respect people like that unless like you're just gonna feel like they respect you when you give them when you use your resources for them and they put their arm around you one time in the club. But
Mm.
yeah, I think that unfortunately we're in a place where some of our best thinkers who have ideas about music are not necessarily they're not going to be the type that get a platform per se. So you're not going
Mm,
to
mm,
necessarily see like evolution all the time, because there's definitely been evolution. Like I've been on the sideline watching a lot of people do great things. So I'd be like it'd be bullshit to say that, but you know what I mean. You know what I
mm.
mean.
Yeah. No, no, definitely. I know what you mean still. Now, I'm gonna ask you this, yeah, and then we're gonna get into some of the more serious questions in it.
Mhm.
So, guys, listen, we're gonna get into the nitty gritty, yeah. So, everyone, retweet this space, tweet all your thoughts on the hashtag, and just retweet the space in it. But yeah, I'm gonna ask you this now. I
Shout
think
out to
was
everybody
this.
that's like listed as well. Bad facts for listed to bad still, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, yeah. Big up everyone that's
Yeah,
listening in.
it's love.
Now, I think it might have been one. Is this one of your first festivals that you performed at Tea in the Park?
Fucking hell, yeah.
That was in Scotland,
Yeah,
didn't it?
yeah, yeah. 2010.
Okay, so 2010 Tea in the
Yeah.
Park, in
Uh huh.
Scotland. Obviously, you're all coming all the way from London, but like it's Newham, Tower
Yeah.
Hamlets. They're going all the way up there. I'm pretty sure it's probably just white people there.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously, I'm pretty sure was he signed them times
No,
there?
basically at the time, Kano was trying to get me to do a joint label with him, like, because he wanted me to be kind of like the young guy around. He wanted to partner up
Mm.
with me, and like basically we make a label, and then I would be like the artist on it, but it's kind of like Kano's label, so I would have been Kano's artist, but I said no at
Mm.
some point. But at the same time, that them times there was Kano's manager, who he's still with now, a man like Richard Thomas. Shout out to Richard Thomas, but
The white
yeah,
guy, the
yeah,
old
yeah,
white guy
yeah,
with the
yeah.
dark. Yeah,
That's my
yeah,
dude as
yeah.
well. Richard's
Okay.
cool people, but like basically he was like my manager at the time, because he was trying to like get me on board to with the Kano deal and stuff. You get me? So yeah, he just
Mm.
took me down there, man. But I ain't gonna lie, bro. I can't even remember what happened, because as soon as I got on the stage, my belt snapped. You get me? So like as
I'm
soon as I
dying.
started performing, man was just crip walking, bro. After that, now, man. Like
That is
yeah,
funny.
so.
Boy. No,
Yeah,
that
so
is
I can't even lie. I
hilarious.
don't want to talk about that shit.
What? What? So was there like video of you just
Don't just
holding your
no
your
no no
trousers
no no
like?
no no no. I don't know if that was that.
What? Your trousers were just bare leaning and that
like
you're
like
just
I
there
know. I'm
sagging.
just saying. I had to like one hand just had to do that performance for the whole thing. Just hold that up. You get me? So it was like, and it happened just as I got on the stage. So it was like, yeah,
Nah,
bruh,
fucking hell.
after getting all the way to
That's
wherever that was.
funny.
But yeah, I can't lie. Yeah, that was it, man.
Okay, okay,
That was it.
cool. All right, so everyone retweet the space and it. Tweet all your thoughts on the hashtag. Boom. So now
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you this. This it's gonna be quite a sensitive one, but
Okay.
obviously this is the harsh reality. No one can
Yeah.
say we
I
can
know
talk
that.
about
Yeah.
everything, innit? So, boom. Now, due to some of your songs that you was releasing,
Yeah.
and you kind of spoke on it earlier on, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're Maxsta, like you're like one of the hottest rappers in the end. Like you're 14, you're still in school, so everyone's talking about
Yeah.
you. You're like one of the number one targets. If people see you, they're gonna have thoughts of trying to do something to you,
Yeah,
innit?
yeah,
So they can raise their name or whatever.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Nah,
Get a little social coin.
yeah, yeah. Nah, you ended up getting stabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I heard something about now I don't know if this is true,
Hmm.
yeah, but I heard something about you got stabbed by a guy called Tiny.
You know what? It wasn't actually him. It was his brethrens, because there was about 10 of them. Yeah,
Okay,
it was about 10 of them still. So yeah, it
okay.
wasn't him, but he was there
Mm.
though. He did like he. No, I was about to say he put in work. I was about to try to give him his props, but he didn't do nothing. I can't even lie. Yeah.
Well, what do you mean by you put in
No, I
work?
was gonna say like I was gonna say like, yeah, he done his job as well when he caught me lacking. You know what I mean, type shit. But
Oh,
I
okay,
was gonna say like I
okay.
was gonna give him his props. Like, yeah, do you know what? He actually caught man and boom, boom, boom. But to be fair, they caught me lacking, about 10 of them, and he came at the end and like he tried to. Well, I'd already been stabbed. You get me? But he's tried to like he's come at the end when there's like kind of like people even trying to assist me, like, you know, like civilians and that civs. Like, so he's trying to
mm.
scare the civs now. He's come to fucking try to give me a one bang, but man's just grabbed him and just like
I'm dying.
I've just grabbed him and just like, you know, when you got no strength, but you just know that I was just saying, you know what, this one, if I go to the floor, you and me are going as well. So I just held on to him. Then he
Mm.
just like ducked out because it was bait. But like, yeah, man, obviously that shit happened, man.
Damn, where did they catch you lacking?
Yeah, I went to go pick up the masters, yeah, for my mixtape, that Maxtape stuff. I went to go pick up the masters and and record the intro just to finish the project. So
Okay,
then man's got these times, like I said, we were just on the street, bro. We were just kids. So it's like man's actually hopped on a bus from Stratford, from like Bowl to Stratford, and then man's getting a bus back to the ends with a man, and then they caught man on the bus, you get me? Because remember, like I
okay.
said, these times we're like 16, 17, and for me, I'm just starting to get a rack or two, or da da da. But none of my brethren are getting money like that, so I'm still just outside the same way I would have been. You get me? Yeah.
Mm. Okay, cool. Okay. You then decided to change your musical approach by releasing Average Kid.
Oh, that was pots and
Um,
pans, man. I'm gonna like,
yeah.
look.
So let's
Let me
talk
just
about that
look.
one
So I
there.
got put in a basically. Man's got these times. I'm getting managed now by Tinchy's got his number ones, and then his managers have come to try grab me, and I've kind of entertained it. So now they're trying to like mold me to be this type of Tinchy young buck or something, which is just like, you know when you're
Yeah.
looking back and you're like, I can't
Mm.
believe I let a nigga let me do that shit. But when it's like that's what happens when you get influenced, like, and you just take to the wrong influences, isn't it? So I hold my hand up for that. But basically, with like songs like that, it's like, bro, they had me in the studio for like 10 hours rewriting that song, just saying don't say this, say that,
Mm.
don't say it. So it's like more time man's due to spin the block and get that shit deleted off YouTube as it is. Do you get it or something? But it's like things like that. When I look back now, that's part of that era where it's like because I didn't have like there was no help. So it's like when all these people that aren't black and don't
Mm.
understand my culture are telling me to do these different things, it's getting to a point where sometimes I don't want to be that black boy that's always saying no, no, no. You get me? Like because
Yeah, yeah. They're just gonna look at
it's
you
being
as like
presented
your
to me that it's
problem.
like, oh bro, you're this is a great opportunity, you know, you don't wanna, you gotta try, like boom
Yeah,
boom
you're
boom,
problematic.
yeah, like and them times
Yeah.
there, that was a real it probably still is, but it was a real thing at the time, you get me, bro? So it's like I feel like I got pressured to do I'll be honest with you, bro, if I did it off of my own back and I liked it and I was standing on that, I would
Mm.
just tell you that right now. I'll be real, bro, because like music's just music and it is what it is. I could tell you a song might be cheesy or this that, but I liked it. There's a difference, you get me? But I think just as a young person, man was
Mm.
genuinely getting, imagine like man's writing a verse and they're like, nah, rewrite it, like say it like, but all day.
Yeah,
all
all day.
day,
That's
all day,
crazy.
because I'm one of them guys. I can write in the studio. I'm very like I can do it. You know what I mean? So it's like I guess it
Mm.
was getting like just abused. You know, that just the pen game. So I don't know. But
Mm.
yeah, fam, I don't talk
Okay.
about that song no more. That's
Yeah,
next
that's a mad.
question.
Cause
Yeah,
you know what it is. I've seen couple songs, yeah, and a lot of artists they've been in that journey.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
the whole commercial, let's cosplay,
Yeah, do you know what's
Tinchy
mad? Yeah, you
Strider,
see,
end
quick one. Yeah,
odds.
you see
Like,
when I got dropped by Sony, they actually in the
yeah,
contract they was like, oh, we're giving you back the intellectual property or some shit. So they deleted the videos off YouTube that, and some of these videos like a bunch of all these videos had like over 1 million views and blah blah blah, right? But you know what? At the time,
yeah,
like that shit happened to me on GRM as well. Like when I was like with my original videos, East London's back, blah blah. Bare my videos got deleted off the net,
mm,
yeah. And at the time I was pissed,
mm,
but now I'm like, you know what? I'm actually glad that them videos got deleted because at the end of the day, see me, I'm one of them guys. Like music, I could go in right now. If you want me to make a banger today, I promise you, bro. Like I'm match fit. I do this every day. I just don't show people. This is just what I do in my life that I got because I got spare time based on how I've managed to sort my life out. You get me or whatever. But it's like,
mm,
I guess at this point with music, yeah, man, I'm not pressed about music, man. If I wanted to make music today and release it, I would just make it and release it. You know what I mean? But other than that,
yeah.
I would say I think that I've been through a lot in the industry, and it's definitely got me on some like anti-industry vibes. Like I just do my thing and make money from music in the ways that I
What?
can. You
Mm.
know?
Just to ask, because it's funny that you said that. Why, when it comes to grime, yeah, because a lot of grime MCs they come with this whole agenda of anti-industry, anti-label,
Kid ain't got ill,
independent,
bro.
and the spearhead of that whole movement is Wiley.
You know what
You
though?
get it?
You see
Wiley's
Wiley,
like the
yeah.
spearhead
You
of
see
that.
Wiley, yeah. First and foremost, that's another guy that I always looked up to. Like, and I think I don't know if I was telling you before, but I was like, if you actually look at my music, the grime ones, you can see that I was mostly trying to mirror his style a lot of times. You get me? So
Yeah,
first and foremost,
yeah.
like massive respect to him because he made this whole thing for the man them and boom boom boom. But like, I think with Wiley, uh, you know what? I don't want to speak on Wiley. I don't want to speak on Wiley. Yeah.
No, no, to say what if
Nah.
this is the
No, it's the
harsh
harsh
reality
reality,
Moses,
bro.
bro. You
No
can't
filter.
hold
Now
back,
you
bro.
get me.
Listen.
You
Why?
put one
Listen,
foot in
Wiley's
now.
You
Wiley,
man
innit?
trying to go,
Wiley's
man.
doing
Look
what
you, man
Wiley's
up.
doing, innit? Listen, do you know what, bro?
No,
Bro,
no, alright,
remember
cool.
we spoke on the
I got
phone.
you.
No,
I got
Calm,
you.
listen,
calm,
Look, I
calm,
listen.
got you.
calm.
I
We
got you.
spoke on the
No,
phone,
I
innit?
got you. I
Like,
got you.
if
I'm gonna keep
there's
it true. I'm gonna
no,
keep it true. Look,
alright, cool.
I'm
Go
gonna
on,
keep it
go on.
true.
Alright, go on.
I think that a lot of people like Wiley, if I'm being honest from the outside looking in, sometimes it feels like man are only anti labels when they're not doing, when the labels ain't giving them money. Do you know what I mean? Like that's how I look at it. Like,
Mm,
and I'm not saying that man ain't anti now for real or boom boom boom, but if I'm being honest, every time that I think what Wiley should have done, like as a fan of him, like how I would say it, I think what Wiley should have done, because he always did this thing where it's like when he does the songs, he comes back and does the grime songs, and he tries to say like, yeah, don't listen to wearing my Rolex, something, something, something. Like it's like, bro, he should have just owned it, bro. Like you get it, like he should
yeah.
have just owned it from the start because that's what you was like, kind of on in a sense. Like you like making that kind of music, you like making Heatwave. I like listening to Heatwave. Do you get it? So
Mm,
it's like I just feel that sometimes it feels like people don't advocate for people strongly until they lose their powers. But I'm not saying that as in Wiley's bad mind because he's been putting people on. You get me? I just think that I
mm,
was there on the day when he took Chip and Ice Kid to Westwood. I was with him earlier that day. And I think that, like, see, like, hindsight's a bitch, but like, if in hindsight, I would say there was no building. There was no like paperwork for SKB. He should have just made it official. You know what I mean? Like I think that it was just like when it was time for him to make it official and be a businessman. Maybe he
mm.
didn't have the people around him and to structure it in the right way. Give a Ice Kid a contract. He could have signed Chip. He could have had Chip. Could have been his artist of coming up to 12 years now if he patterned it right. You get it? Like,
Mm.
so I just think that it's all good and well being anti-establishment, but how anti-establishment were you on the day when you got a number one? That's all I want to know. But like, and I
Okay.
don't care. But like, I mean, if I have to answer the question, I guess I would say it's all good and well being anti, and it's all good and well being and away from Wiley, it's all good and well being anti-establishment. When deep down, if they gave you a seat at the table, you'll sell out your brethren. You get it? So it's like,
It's peace. Deep. It's
Mad,
deep. Deep.
it's
mad.
all
Deep.
good and well
Trust
being.
me.
It's
No, no,
all,
I hear
I
what you're
hear what you
saying.
say. It's
So
true.
when it benefits you, you ain't trying to do that anti-establishment thing. But when you're left out
yeah,
and
like
it's
when
not
they start
working out,
whipping,
then all of a
when they
sudden,
start
fuck the
showing you that,
label,
hey,
blah
when they
blah.
start showing you that, hey, we let you come in and do the little jig, yeah, with the cup in your hand, but you're still a slave. You gotta go back out in the
Yeah.
field. You gotta go back out in the field someday, my boy.
It's true. It's true.
Like when they let you know, well, it's like when man get put back in the cotton field, then
Mm,
and they can see the dining table through the window that they was
mm,
eating at last week. Certain times, I think, just in general, and I'm not even talking about Wiley. I think it's just an ethos sometimes in music because you know what, black rap music is very ego driven. It's very me, right? On a like competition level, on a principle level, on an ego level, on a cultural level, it's like I'm the shit, you're not. I fucked your bit. You know what I mean? It's very me. So by the time people are done with their me train,
yeah.
and then they're not getting treated like the number one star boy on the planet. Now they want to look at who's the
Mm,
number one star boy on the planet, and they want to diss that person. Now you get me? And I think
mm.
that you know what? I think we
Okay.
just need to do better because it like cool. Let's say it's one thing being anti-establishment, but just like I say for all people that do grime, whether you think you're a purist or da da da, it's like I don't think it's a good look being like anti someone like Stormzy. You know, I don't think that's a good. I don't think
Okay.
that's a good look. Just like, and I don't mean like on some begging it thing. I just mean like somebody who has done so much for the scene in regards to like you know, when the resurgence came, like, yeah, a lot of people got to
Yeah.
eat, but certain man was the front runners like Stormzy and that. So it's like, I don't know, man. I just wouldn't, me personally, I wouldn't really say anything bad about someone like that, or you know, criticize whether they make pop now or don't, or like, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, bro, when I look at someone like him, I just think about the same thing. Like when I got my bread, um, my mum smiled, man, and it's like if you're really a black man, you should be happy that his black mum is getting some money, and you get me, like being able to boast about her son. You get me? We should just be happy about that. I ain't gonna lie, but maybe, but
Yeah.
that's just me. Obviously, I'm an African, so I don't know. I think like I know I keep saying I'm African, it might get annoying, but that's just how I talk, innit?
Mm.
But basically, point being, yeah,
Mm.
No, we're
I just
African
think,
as well, still.
yeah, I just think on an ethos level, yeah, like what I do like about people like Wiley, which is why, like I say, this thing can't. What I just said can't just be about him, because he's been one of the most generous people. For what it's worth, I just
Mm.
say with him, like, because even if you're generous, not everybody's even gonna look back and do you that solid. Like, well, a lot of men have done him dirty on the back end. You get it? So it's like, I think
Yeah.
that for anybody watching, monetize, man, get that paper, like, start a company, get this shit right.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Okay.
that's what I'd say
Cool.
about
No,
that.
no. I hear what you're saying. No, no. You're right there. Still. All right. I'm gonna ask you about this then. Yeah.
Mhm.
So obviously, like I've seen, like you've got a lot of like freestyles. You've got a couple songs there
Mhm.
with Axeman.
Mhm. Shout out to
Now,
Axman.
Axeman, he don't go by Axeman no
What does he go
more.
by?
I think he goes by, in his
Like
name
140
140
acts. Yeah, do you
Axe,
know what it is? That's like his Twitter name card.
something like
Obviously,
that.
yeah, that's his Twitter name card. Obviously, the man them still call him Axe. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, all right. So why did you lot fall out?
Because people around us was chatting shit to us about what we each other, basically. You know, like the classical hood fairy tale.
Okay. What? And are you lot cool
Yeah, yeah,
now
that's my
or?
dog. I ain't seen him for a minute, but I mean, like, obviously, people like me and Axe, we was never like, no, we had a period where we was best of friends. I ain't gonna lie, but basically, we was, but like, it's like, obviously, we was music brethrens and kind of street brethrens a little bit, but we had our time, and it passed. So
Mm,
it's not like then after that, it's like man's bucked him as an adult after all this passor. Like man's gone driven. I just linked him, went to his yard. You get me, like. And, on some
mm,
G shit, like we just spoke about it, like or whatever. Like, no, we'd already spoken on the phone, but I just went to his yard, bro. Like we're grown men, and it's like it's not whatever it was. But basically, my point being that was just some little grime dickhead beef, yeah. Where it's like
mm,
at the end of the day, yeah. A lot of times when I look back at some of these situations, all I think about is like, you know what, bro? In them times when I wasn't cool with my man, we could have been doing good works. That's about it. You get
mm.
it. But other than that,
What? So who's my man that you
no,
wasn't
I'm saying
cool with?
Axe. Like when we
Okay,
weren't cool, we
okay.
could have just been doing good works, and that's about it, man. Like, but other than that, it's like
Yeah.
I'm a father now. Axe is a father now. Like at my age, a lot of us are all fathers, and like you get me. It's just like
Mm,
man, just trying to, yeah. Like it's like I swear, my mother's like. I think personally, I got nothing but good things to say about Axe, and that's not on some politically correcting, because it's like at the end of the day, bro, we both lived a life where at some point we was chatting shit about each other, but we just like that
mm,
shit didn't mean anything anyway at the time. It's just childish, man. All that shit's childish.
mm.
Most of this grime
Okay.
insinuated
Mm.
clashing beef, like, because you got to think about it. In grime, there's no actual real blocks beefing each other, so it's like niggas in
No, it's just
between just gotta
MCs
make
and
shit up,
groups.
and niggas want to pit people up against each other. So it's like instead of in the end,
So they can
yeah, in the
clash
ends,
you.
instead of like niggas working together, people want to see you fight or whatever. So it's like,
Mm.
the hyenas want to cackle. So
Aye, man, no, you're funny. I know. Big up the hyenas,
yeah,
man.
they love a cackle, bro.
But yeah, listen. Nah, you know what? Nah, that's funny still.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm gonna ask you this, Car. Obviously, listen. I spoke to you on the phone earlier on
Yeah,
today, and
yeah,
so obviously, like I know what I'm doing, innit?
yeah,
But now there's this certain individual, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Now I don't know why and I don't know how, but obviously certain man they love to fish and they love to
yeah.
search for clout and
Yeah. Are we gonna
algorithms
look?
and
Yeah, quick one.
bandwidths
Yeah,
that
just
they
because
can
like it's
enter.
up to you how you want to run it.
Mm,
Are you saying his name, or are we just
mm.
gonna not say his name and just but say it like?
No, no, no. We're not gonna say
Yeah,
his
cool,
name.
cool, cool.
We're not gonna
Yeah,
say his name.
because my man will probably
Now,
try to sample that, bro.
Oh, no way.
Real
Some
shit.
fan shit.
I know, I know,
Hey, that's
I
peak.
know. That is fucking funny. Nah, we're not saying his name, man. Nah, we're not saying his name. That is hilarious,
No,
man.
and you know what? I rate his
Nah, but
music.
you
I told
see,
you as well, man. He just wants to do what he wants to
no,
do.
no, no. I'm not even talking about him
Okay,
as an
yeah, go
artist,
on.
but it's
As a
like.
person,
Cause I'm just hearing him like saying like there was a time where he's saying your name and shit
yeah,
on speak. Like I'm waking up sometimes and
yo,
I'm on my phone and I'm hearing him screaming your name on
yo,
the
see this
internet and
you. I
on
think in
spaces.
in the
And I'm
flesh,
thinking,
in the
bro,
Is it
no, no. Do
Stella?
you
Is
know
it
what he
Stella?
said? Yeah. No,
go on.
listen. No,
Yeah.
listen to what he said. One time, he said something about, oh, he don't want to talk about when he was hiding from me in a chicken shop in Bow,
Oh, Stella.
and
Stella Twa.
he was
I know who you're
jumping,
talking about.
he was jumping hurdles
You know
and
what?
shit.
No, you
I'm
know what?
like,
Yeah,
wait,
you know what? I can't lie. I don't
huh?
even know. I know what he's talking about because there was an incident that happened in the ends where people tried to kind of like set me off or whatever, yeah, and line me kind of thing. Yeah. But
Mm.
and these are youths that are my age. He's much younger, so I've never. I don't know if he. I don't believe. Maybe he was there, but at this point he was like a blurred out character, you know, like just in the back, like and
Yeah.
no disrespect. He was too young to be on. Like, do you get my? He was too young to be on. But if we're talking
Yeah.
about face to face conversations, yeah, man's had one face to face conversation with his youth for 5 minutes in life. You get it? So it's
Mm.
like I rate what he's doing, and I think that in life sometimes when you want to be a villain, you have to pick a. You have to pick a, you have to pick some people that you can safely kind of because maybe they don't care or they're just not around enough to like you can kind of like have your origin story and shit. You know what I'm saying? For your
Mm.
beef, but really and truly, yeah. Like I said, I could pander to that question a bit more and source it. But the truth of the
Mm.
matter is, like, if I've spoken to someone once in for 5 minutes in my life, and when I spoke to them, I was giving them just like good advice. I just said, "Yo, bro, your music's hard. I think that you should one day you should be doing better than me." That's what I said, and I say that
Mm.
shit sincerely because that's what I want to see people younger than me
Mm.
do. You get me? And I said this to him in like 012, 011, 010.
Oh, well, oh,
Yeah, so I
wow.
guess when he started doing the diss tracks for me, I guess, like I said, obviously we had there was conflict. And I'm not gonna act like he did it out of nowhere. There was conflict with people there was people that he knew that the people that's my age from his ends all didn't like me. So him being one of their youngers, they grew him up in the seeds, bro, of hate.
Mad,
Yeah,
mad. So he hated you for no reason, really.
yeah,
Well,
because
he only hated you,
yeah.
Carl. Like you're from over there, and them man they don't like you
So, and
anymore.
he's one of the like he kind of
Wow.
inherited it. Like he never actually, but he was never there when I pulled up when I was
He don't
14.
even know you like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Like you've only spoken to him
yeah.
once.
He's
He's begging
yeah,
it, really.
lit gen. But maybe like I guess if you want to call it,
Yeah, reaching,
I guess if you want to call it
reaching.
that, but it's like that's you got to think about it. Like at the end of the day, man was on TV before, like man reached heights that obviously some man like that didn't, and not even disrespectfully, because we all just hit our mark. Some people did better than me, you know what I mean? But I'm saying, like,
Yeah, yeah.
man was on TV. Them boy there was seeing man on TV. Then certain times we'll be driving past, like sometimes we drive past their ends in a convertible when the sun's out. You get me? Um,
They had no
yeah,
convertible.
and you know
Oh
what?
man.
Things like that. Looking
Yeah.
back,
The hate comes.
looking back, I didn't need to do things like that. Maybe I was watching too much. Maybe I saw the 50 Cent window shopper videos like one too many times. Like I was trying to, you know what I'm saying?
No.
There was times where I was trying to make man who made me feel bad when I was young. I was trying to make them feel it when I had that convertible. You get me? So it was like
Yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
stupid though. You get me? It was just immature. So, but at the end of the day, if you go around goading people in the ways that I did, it's like okay, Cadell, he wasn't there, but the ones that were upset,
Oh,
Stella
I
mate.
can't.
Twa, you know.
Oh yeah,
Wife
whatever. But
beater.
like, yeah, I don't even know about all that stuff. Or like, you get
No.
me, man. Man went church like not
I
just
had to
Sunday, but
cover
last
that
Sunday.
quickly.
So man's just on some.
Yeah, that you there
Wife
you beat.
beater,
Well,
wife beater.
that's a topic
Stella
for another
Twa and
day.
that.
But
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what?
yeah,
But
yeah,
like I
man.
said, man, you see what
yeah.
it is, yeah. Like it's like man like that is the type of man where it's like really like when he was sending for me, the only thing I was thinking was like, cool. So if he sent for me, then the way that we was trying to formulate this East London thing, like if he sent for me, then he's basically broken like a major thing to what would have happened, like how we would have approached Grime.
Mm.
Because I would have liked to have, you know, away from, I don't know what he's getting up to, sort of the bad character thing and that or whatever. But as a talent, I would have scouted him, man. I would have put him on the team.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
as a
Okay.
MC,
Structures.
yeah, as an MC, I always respected him as an MC. So it's like for me, it was just like someone that I don't know, just misbehaving, and
You naughty
And
boy.
I said misbehaving.
yeah,
This is too funny,
just
man.
misbehaving, man.
Naughty boy. Naughty
Oh
boy.
god,
See, I
that
don't
is
know what he's
fucking
got to say about
hilarious.
that, but Cadell, bro, like, trust me, I don't want you to get like leery at me or
Wife
anything.
beater.
I'm out of the game. I'm out the way. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Don't send
like
for him
Don't send
tomorrow,
from tomorrow,
bro.
man. Don't
point is that
sample this
I'm just
wife
saying,
beater.
yeah, like, yeah, man, like, it's like, all you see all
Stella
of that,
Artois.
yeah, I'd like to think, obviously, because I do think, yeah, you see with this game, sometimes, yeah, like, I've been a young kid on the, not kid, because he ain't a kid, I'm not trying to belittle man, but my point is, yeah, I've been a person on
Mm.
the internet that's,
Lol.
that's doing
He's a
dumb.
youth, man. He's a youth, man.
Yeah, I've been a person on the internet that's done dumb stuff. You get me? Like I've been notorious for doing that
Mm.
at times in my career. So I'll be real. When he was doing it to me, I kind of found it a bit funny because I was like, "This is basically what I would have done." Like I was like, "This is jokes. What he's doing is what I would have done." But the only thing is
Mm.
that he shouldn't have, like we should have, like, if you care about like the culture of like our East London sector of grime, I think that maybe we could have, me, him, and Axe and a couple other
Mm.
man and that maybe could have done at least one little mixtape together that would have been cold or something. I just like making music. I just like, you
Okay.
see me, I just like creating things, innit? So it would have just been nice to have some music there. So, but other than that, now we don't get no music together. So that's about it. I don't care.
Okay. Now I'm gonna ask you this, yeah. Now there's this rumor out there. Now this ain't even got nothing to do with anyone else. Now there's this rumor out there that apparently Murky Ace he caught you lacking and he ran you down.
Yeah. Like, bro, I can't lie. It's not a rumor, but they sourced it.
Hey, it happens. Everyone has a
Okay.
bad
Oh,
day,
but they
man.
sourced it, man. That's all I can say. They sourced it. They took it from a 2 to a 9, man. The same night, man. That's the only thing I was a bit disappointed at how much they sourced it. 'Cause you know when you're there, so it's like if you're
Mm.
there in a situation, it's not about what anyone else knows. It's like I'm always gonna know that you sourced it. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
Mm.
not that man cares about what I think, but I just feel like what I remember them saying happened, like being on the floor. Like I was never on the floor. It was like one of them ones they caught me lacking.
What I heard something about what he punched you in the face
I
or
don't know
something.
about that either. I'm not too sure about that either, bro. It was like because like, if I tell you how it went, like
Alright, go on.
man's come out the radio station. I was with like 5 people.
What radio was
Kiss
it?
100. Yeah,
Kiss
so
one.
man's
All
come
right,
out of
cool.
Kiss. Yeah, I was with like 5 people. It's what, like man's in West. Like it's like 11, 12, maybe one. Who knows? But like man's come out of the station and I know the radio station. Man's turned the left. All of a sudden, like it's like these youths, how these youths, yeah, and this is why like some parts of it are just funny to me, yeah, because these youths basically, I had a driver who was from South, yeah, and I was with a certain man that was from South, but somehow these youths managed to know they was waiting like where my driver's car was parked, kind of, do you know what I mean? So it was
Okay.
like once again,
In-house thing.
it was just more conniving cunts, you know what I mean? But basically, yeah,
Mm.
like so, man's hit the corner. Then I seen one you. I'm not gonna say the names. I'll just like say like how it happened. And man's turned the corner. I see one you say like, "What go on, Max?" I looked at him. I was like, I don't know what you come to do, bro. Like, but it's definitely not that. Then he's like, "What? It's not that, nah." And I was like, yeah, it's not that. Then he's like, hey man, them get out of the car. Then next minute, obviously 2 cars of people ejected themselves onto the pavement, like, and then Like, but the way man's already peaked game and started sprinting, you get me, like a skinny ass. Like, man's already teched, yeah. So boom, man's off. Like, boom, boom, boom. I've ducked them up. I think I've done 100-meter sprint before they caught man. Yeah. So look, when they like,
They
yeah,
caught
look,
you.
just let me show you though, because at the end of the day, it was
Cool,
West.
cool.
There was too many. You know, like man wasn't playing GTA, bro. I wasn't doing it with a map that I can also see on the screen. You get me? So when man's trying to take this certain left, it's like, oh, you can't take that left. You gotta run this way. Like, I was trying to tech, you get me? But basically, they've caught man, yeah. And at this point, it's like man's tried to, like, some bus has stopped, and I've just tried to grab get the bus, but like the bus is gone. So then, guess what? Obviously, it's like one of my man's brethrens, because remember they've come with like 10 people, bro. So
Okay.
like
Wow.
10
Okay.
people have ducked man down, and everybody that I was with ducked out. You get me? So and we don't need to say names of that either because it don't really matter, bro. But yeah, so when they've caught me, like one youth's caught up first, yeah, it's like some tall youth with a bandana on his face. He's grabbed my arm, yeah. These times, Bear of them probably didn't even get to the scene because like I told you, I teched. Like, so this one youth's grabbed me, yeah, but because he's grabbed me now, it's given chance for 2-3 man to actually like catch me. You get me? But basically, when he's grabbed me,
Was it Kid
no, no,
Buki?
no, 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 no. So
No. Okay. Cool.
one
Go
youth's grabbed me and he's like, "Give me your phone, give me your phone." Through the belly, he's just saying, "Give me your phone." These times, I'm thinking,
on.
look, man, I know how the story goes, man. Look, so you're gonna take my phone and then that's gonna be the trophy. Like, I was just like, nah, bro. Then like, because I was thinking he's not gonna, because he said, "Give me your phone before I shank you." But I was thinking, this guy not gonna shank me in West when they just come here with a whip with the plates all showing. Like, then I don't
Yeah.
think that that's what you've come to do. Like, I just had a strong intuition. You get me? So I've held onto my phone. And I'm just like holding it on some, like, not on a bad boy thing, but I was kind of like, bro, it was them times. It was the first iPhone as well. You weren't having that. But like I said, when he's catching me, trying to say, give me your phone, fam, before I stab you," and that, the other youths have caught up. So a man's got a 20. No, let me say, a man got a 12-second, like, people trying to swing punches while I covered my face with my hands, and one hand was holding my phone the whole time, and somebody was trying to like prise the phone out of my hand. And then they ducked after like 13 seconds, and they all cut, yeah. And I literally stood up and I tweeted, 10 man, 1 max, not 1 scratch. I literally tweeted it as soon as they ran off because I knew what time it was. I knew they did it to go live about it, so that kind of thing. So I've already just said my piece. Then as soon as I've said that, I'm getting replies. Oh, a lie, oh, boom, boom, boom. But I said, you know what, man? See this God thing, yeah, and this life and this like this way of being where like,
So they
yeah.
try to rob you and it failed.
Yeah, they did try and rob my phone, but like my man was just saying, "Give me your phone, give me your phone." And like I said, I don't know if everyone caught up, but I promise you, I can put it on my dead brother's grave. I got like a 15 seconds at most. 15 seconds of scrambled. Everybody couldn't even, get me. Like I said, my head's ducked down. I've been rushed before in the ends. Like, so if like when man's got rushed, I ducked my head down. Boom, boom, boom. They rushed me for 15 seconds and they cut out, man. But then obviously in true Grime fashion, they sourced it, didn't they? But that's why, like, of course it was annoying, but I always said, like, I'll never watch any of the videos where they talk about it because it would just piss me off. Like I said, I just won't watch the videos because at the end of the day, I know what I know. So obviously my ears are burning because man, I've got this whole other perception that it's gone away that it hasn't. But I just think, you know what? It's not even about, oh, the truth shall prevail. Sometimes I just like, do I really give a fuck? Like I guess I've had to just, like, certain things like that. I've had to be like, you know what? I know what I know. I know that was like, and then man did a video saying, I think they said I was on the floor and I was getting stamped on or all type of other stuff. But I'm like, man, if you got to lie about it, whatever the case may be, them times there, the people that I was rolling with, I just wasn't bringing them to Grime events because, like, obviously it is what it is. But like the type of people that was doing badness around me, like if something happened to someone, we'll probably have to lie and say we didn't do the mad thing. You know what I mean? Not me, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we
yeah,
wouldn't be
yeah,
like
yeah,
giving man
yeah.
a cheeky one like that and
Nah,
saying
you would
that.
do the job
Them
would
type of
be
ones, the
done,
ones that they
and
gave me,
yeah,
I'll be honest with
yeah.
you, calm as a bitch, bro. The same way that they rushed me, I don't know, Voltage was there, DJ Impact was there. Like, remember when we caught that you on the side after we came from Westwood? Then we done him up on the side road and I emptied out his pockets, bro. Like, calm as a bitch, bro. Shit happens to anyone. Like, here's what
Oh
it is.
shit!
Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, anything happens to anyone, yeah.
What? Who was it? Who
That's
was
just
it?
some guy from my ends, man. Nobody knew him, but he was prank calling all the man them and being a nuisance. So when I saw him in West after Westwood, I just had that adrenaline rush, you know what I mean?
Fucking hell. Mad thing. All right, you know what? I'm gonna ask you about your clash with Chip, innit?
Yeah,
Because that's one of the main big like clashes that you've had, innit?
yeah.
And even
I wouldn't
right
really
now,
say
as
that
we
was a clash
talking
though,
to you,
because he
bro,
never really sent
it,
back.
it
But
wasn't a
you know,
clash, but it was like there was something like a there was beef there, innit?
hmm
So like a lot of people, like I've had about 6 DMs already. Like they're all asking me about Chip, asking me about Chip, and obviously like we spoke of that in it.
yeah.
So yeah, bro, I just ask you like what was your ish? Well, what was Chip's problem with you, car? From the
Um,
looks of it, he's the one that instigated all of this.
yeah, bro. To be honest with you, yeah, like, and I'm gonna have to put a disclaimer on it because I can only tell you what people told me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, because
Like,
if I wasn't there, then I might have to give him I
mm,
might have to give him the leeway to be like, okay, I didn't say that. So if he didn't say that, then maybe it was all a big misunderstanding or whatever. Who knows, bro? But basically, bro, at the time,
okay,
yeah, man's going around to certain studios. These times, man's starting to pop off a little bit. So I'm going to certain studios. I've gone to Terra Danger's house. Hold on, let me let me hit the. Yeah, I've gone to Terra Danger's now. Had this producer, this grad producer at the time, he said to me, "Yeah, man, you know who I just had it there the other day." I'm like, "Who?" He's like, "Chip." He's like, "Yeah, man, Chip saying don't work with Maxsta. Like, he ain't got star quality. Like, he's never gonna blow. Like, boom, boom, boom." I was like, "Is it?" I was like,
bro.
"Is it?" Like, right? Why is he saying that? Because I was thinking to myself, like, right, like, he's gone. These times he's already gone. You get me? We're in the hood, like the back of your neck. So it's
Mm.
like we're just like,
He's already a big
yeah, he's
artist,
already
bro.
gone. You get me? So at the first time, I was thinking maybe this Terra Danger you trying to source it. You get me? Maybe trying to like instigate. You get me? So now, obviously, Colin
Mm.
Batser, he's from Tottenham. The
Yeah,
guy,
big up
yeah, the
Colin.
guy that
Big
runs
up
that
Colin.
EGA music. Yeah, these times he's my
Yeah, big up
manager.
Ghana's
He's
finest.
my manager at the time because he's got what he was calling the dream team, like the Grime little dream team. Them times he's managing me, Devlin, Getz, and Criminal around the times when we all went on Westwood together. You get me? So it's like
Mm.
he's managing us, but one day man's gone to go buck this Criminal you outside Newvic, like college in Newham and that, and then he gets a call from Colin, and Colin says to him,
You bucked
yeah, I
criminal.
boxed Criminal, and then like because
Yeah,
that was my
okay.
dog. You get me? Was rolling, so it's like
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
a man's boxed him, and then he said to me like Collins phoned him. Cause Criminal was the star boy at the time. I'm gonna keep it true.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
he was,
he
he
was the
was.
guy. You get
Criminal
me?
was
Like
the star
he was the
boy.
guy. Like
Yeah,
and
yeah,
basically,
yeah. Big
so
up
the call was
criminal.
really his call, and even in that management formation, I was just the younger that got to really tag along because I was like just all the artists fucked with me probably more than Colin or so I don't know. You get me? But
Okay.
point being, I'm with the click. So now, Criminal's got this phone call. They're just talking about his affairs. Next minute, Colin's like, "Hey, put Max on the phone." I'm taking the phone. He's like, "Hey, Max, what have you done to Chip?" Like, I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, he's like, "Bro, Chip's telling me why am I managing you? Like, you're not gonna make it anyway." Type shit. Like, boom, boom, boom. And then I think it was like
Fucking
that,
hell.
and then one more person, yeah. So then at this point, I'm thinking once again, man's in the hood, like most of my brethren are not making it out. Man's trying to see a little light, like, and you're just doing this stuff, yeah. When it's like, man's not really, but then it's like you're retweeting man's music, yeah, on the timeline, saying like, yeah, good
Mm,
music. You get me? So I basically that's what I was made to believe by at least those two reputable sources. You get me? Where it's like, like them two people, yeah. You in front of me, they will never tell you that in the same room as me in front of me, unless they're trying
mm,
to go to hell or something. Like they will never tell you in front of me that they never told me them things. You get it? It just is what it is. Like,
mm,
but people didn't want me. Those same people didn't want me to say it. You get me? They didn't want me to like even me dissing him and using their names in the diss was like me backfiring it on them because at the end of the day, everyone's trying to keep the main player happy in it, which was Chip. Like he was the guy. You get it? Well, like the upfront guy. So I believe.
Is the reason why Chip didn't like you because you liked Miss Brat?
No, I wasn't in the Miss Brat triangle, man. I wasn't nothing to do with that shit. Yeah, I
Okay.
wasn't in none. I wasn't nothing to do with that shit, man. I ain't gonna lie. That was
Mm.
him,
But so
other
basically,
niggas.
Chip, he was basically
Yeah,
blackballing you
yeah,
behind the
yeah, yeah,
scenes, but
yeah.
then
Yes,
to
he
your
was
face,
apparently. Anyway,
he's
yeah.
he's showing you love, like he's doing a snake thing.
Yeah,
That's what you're
and I'm
saying.
not saying he was showing me mad love, but at a time I remember when he tweeted my song when we dropped me and Shiz dropped on the low, and then he must have quote tweeted it like good music or something. and I just thought, yeah, I got something that's loading for you still, so safe. I didn't even like retweet it or something. Maybe I did, but I just thought, yeah, cool. Imagine you're doing that, but you're behind the scenes. And I was thinking, now you're getting me mad, like. So I got something loading. You get me? But basically, bro, it was all
Okay.
childish. Like I said things about, I think I said stuff about his mum, all that stuff. Man didn't need to say that because like it's just childish. It's Grime. I don't know his mum. I don't know. I don't even know him. Like, well, I've been around him here and like very like a year early in our like careers for a small time. We used to go out for dinners at the end with like all the olders from like always because man used to go link them man in North Bath and that. But basically, it's like, bro, at the end of the day, like, yeah, man, I think that even the people who told me obviously wanted to see me react. You get me? They wanted to see someone do something entertaining. So was it in my best interest to do that at the time? No, because of the things. There was a lot of industry backlash because a lot of people. There was a lot of things. I don't need to get into it, but like he was calling people like Adidas. Apparently, someone his team was calling Adidas, trying to get them to drop me, not work with me, and like when I sent for him and that, when I sent for him and that. You get me? So it's like basically, obviously these things man never come out unspoken about because I just always thought maybe you just save it and talk about it later, like because it don't really matter anyway. But like if you want to know, then you can find out. But like my point is, yeah, man. Like at the end of the day, I don't dislike my man, and I think that I would say that out of my generation, like he won that. He won the game like because he's been the most consistently fire like and a lot of
Last man
yeah, and a lot of
standing.
people tried to play with him, and he showed them what time it is. You get me? So it's like at the end of the day, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, bro, that guy's fucking sick. You get me? So it's like at the end of the day, I guess maybe the young me just wanted to be friends with a lot of these guys. You get me? But if you're blackballing, man, the way man's mentality was from the, like, it was like I wasn't, like sometimes they'd be like, "Oh, play the game, play the game," but I was always the guy that was like, "Fuck the game, man." I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like, "Fuck
yeah,
the game."
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I was always the guy who was like, "Fuck the game." So basically I know even there's certain opportunities that I had where I could have gone further and could have taken, and there was always times where I personally was like, fuck the game. And I was just like, I'm not
yeah.
doing it. You get me? And if you don't do certain things, then there's certain places and there's certain heights that your career is just not going to get to. You get what I'm saying? And so I'm not saying
Okay.
necessarily that was a conscious decision, like I because I said to you before, if I when I look back at my career, the only thing that I would say is I wish I'm like if I had made more money in that time, yes, I would be happier. But other than that, I'm pretty content with like the fact that no one knew my name, and I knew that, and I told myself that everyone's gonna know my name, and I made them know my name. You get me? So it's like music for me, like I said, it's forever. Like I always make music. I'm involved in other people's careers. I'm doing different things behind the scenes. So it's kind of like I'm grateful when people come up to me and tell me that they fuck with the Maxsta shit. Like I'm grateful because I've had enough time to where, because there might have been times where I was bitter about not getting. I felt like I would maybe deserved more like respect or bourbon. But at the end of the day, that's just cap. Like nobody deserves anything more because at the end of the day, it's just life is just life, bro. Nobody is meant to be coming out of their way to make you feel better or any of that shit. So I think that was just part of my growth as a man, where I got to a point in life where it's like I'm not the type of nigga that's gonna go on the internet asking a nigga to give me some flowers, bro. You get me? I
Okay.
just don't. I just don't. I
Okay.
just don't feel. I just don't feel like that because I already got my flowers in life. Like I've had a great life and that. As much as there's been a lot of bad, like I've had a great life. So it's like, and I got to be bossy from young. You get me? Like, and do it how I thought I wanted to
Yeah.
do it. You get me?
Yeah.
Like I went out like the G that I like in year 11. How everyone knew me. Like when I went out into the world, I went off and did what I was trying to, what I was showing everyone I was gonna do. You get me? So it's like, obviously, if I wasn't intelligent enough to now go to uni, get a degree, get a master's, like do all these different things and like pattern my life in different ways, yeah, man, you might catch me trying to grab the mic and trying to get some more money from that shit. But right now, I just like I've been through a lot with.
What? Yeah,
Right
yeah,
now,
yeah,
I'm in a
yeah. No.
position where I'm just like, if anyone's gonna pimp my music, it's gonna be me. Until then, I'm just not in a place where I prefer to look at myself as like I'm just not monetizable at this point in that way. Like not because anyone's knocking on
Yeah.
my door saying they want to or nothing like that. Not that to do with that. But I'm saying I'm just not like, my career is not for the like, or my output right now, because I spent my whole young life doing it for the like for public reasons. It's like as a man like who I got a one son and I got another child on the way. It's like the way that I've structured my life and like the way that I'm there for my child and like my woman and all these different things. It's like, yeah, man, it's just a different it's just a different life from what I used to live. You get me? And it's the
Mm,
one that I want to live, kind of thing. You get me? So it's kind of like, I mean, niggas hit
mm,
me up all the time. Max, bro, please come to this set. Like, come true, bro. Come true. Just da da da. I be telling my bros like, blood, I ain't written a Grime bar in like 2 3 years or 4 or what. I couldn't even like, not like I couldn't. Of course I could. You know what I mean? But it's like because I feel
mm,
like I'm one of them people who don't really lose it, and I make other type of music in my spare time. So I just know that if I wanted to, I could.
mm.
But I think the key thing for me is when I did it before. The reason why everybody knows my name is because to begin with, man did it to be the best MC. That was all it was.
Mm.
So it's like when after I've been the best MC at least for 1 year, you know what I mean? At least officially,
Yeah.
potentially for 1 year, like or something. At least in like for the youth or like whatever. Where I've done that, it's kind of like everything else is like a blessing on top of that God gave me, and I think that I've learned those lessons, a lot of industry lessons, so I can help other younger artists with my knowledge and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I give a lot.
Mm.
I give out a lot of game to a lot of people that you sometimes you wouldn't expect. It's that type of life I'm living. You know?
Okay. Okay. All right. Boom. Cool. I'm gonna ask you about this, yeah.
Mm.
Because you mentioned earlier on, obviously Colin was managing you with Gets as well.
Hmm.
So there's this rumor about Gets was remixing your lyrics. What's all that
Who
about?
said that?
Someone's just messaged me saying that Gets was remixing your lyrics.
Well, if they're saying that, then maybe. But like, if Gets remixed my lyrics, then he might have done that for a season because he might have felt inspired by the new kid on the block. But I think that's what
Mm.
I think that's kind of what we do in our culture. So it's like I'm not gonna
He was
really.
remixing your
I
bars.
don't know, man. Like I'm not. I don't know if you want me to say like. I don't know if you want me to like. I can't discredit Gets in any way. Like so, it's like.
What do you think he was remixing your
But if he
bars?
did remix, he remixed one of my bars for sure on a song with me because I was in the room with him. So he
Okay.
did it. He might have spat it somewhere else, and maybe someone's heard it and thought, "Oh, you're remixing Max's bars." But as far as I'm aware, my own air, I only ever really heard one bar that he remixed of mine, and I was there when.
He remixed it on "We're Moving
Yeah, that's the
Along."
one. Like we was in
Yeah,
the
you
studio. Yeah,
guys were both on the
we was in the
same
studio
track.
together. Like that's cool
Yeah.
techers, man. You know, and gets his
Okay.
the tech like. I'd give him techiest Grime MC at all time. So like he was just being
Mm,
him, bro. Like at the end of the day, what is that? Like I've remixed people's bars, people remix my bars. So I'm not saying that, you know, like to the person who answered the
mm,
question. I'm not being like, oh, bro, don't say that. Trying to like, oh, gem it
mm,
with gets on her. No, I'm just saying like,
mm.
bro, that's light. Like, yeah, you know,
Okay,
yeah.
and then also, another question that's coming is also when you got dropped. Is it true that you had to forfeit over 100 unreleased songs?
Oh hell no, I ain't never heard that one in my life for sure.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna ask you about. Oh, so many people are mentioning this. I'm pretty sure you know who I'm talking about. Um, so the clash with you and Nas, didn't it?
Yeah,
Now Lord of the Mics,
yeah,
yeah, Lord of the Mics. Obviously, big up Lord of the Mics. We're gonna talk on Jammer a bit quickly, but yeah, big up Lord of the Mics, big up Jammer, big up Nast. Obviously that crash there was kind of a mad one, isn't it?
yeah,
Now obviously during the clash, because obviously I watched the clash myself.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure a lot of people in here know about what happened, but
yeah,
during the clash, obviously you turned up by yourself, innit?
yeah,
But obviously you kind of got, you got set up. But we're gonna talk on that later. But obviously whilst you're there, obviously Nasta's there with all of his guys, and you're just there by yourself. But obviously you've turned up by yourself, you've done your thing, innit?
yeah,
But obviously, whilst the clash is going on, uh, Nas has gone and he said like a very disrespectful line,
yeah,
innit?
yeah,
To the point where I think even Jammer had to bleep the line out
yeah,
from the official. Yeah, he had to bleep it out. 'Cause I think he was probably getting a lot of like bad reviews and bad comments,
yeah,
so
yeah,
you probably had to take that out.
yeah.
But just talk about that whole clash there, like
Yeah.
the vibe, how tense it
So
was.
in the
um
simplest form,
yeah.
like to kind of wrap up the events, like basically the day before the clash, man's gone to Eskimo dance, but I brought Morrison and I brought Morrison and I basically brought like RMT, like all the niggas that that be around like Morrison, like really the link between me and them man is kind of like stealth. My brethren from the ends, because I'm from the same ends as people like Morrison and that. But obviously, like true, we got some mutuals, so we linked up and that, like just on some chilling shit. Like we was around at a certain point. I was around him briefly, like, but yeah, basically, I brought Morrison and a bunch of goons, like, kind of basically, if I'm gonna keep it real, to like, not really on purpose. I just thought we was coming to have a good time. You get me? But like I said, normally I don't bring the ends to Grime events, but at the time, the case was that Maxsta brought the ends to, like, you know, saying that I brought the goons that it's going on. So some people saying that at the time, but basically, bro, came there like 30 odd deep, maybe 20, maybe 25, but definitely quite deep. And when man seen Little Nasty outside, obviously we're all from the same end, so I think there was a youth that was with man, one of the older lot that was with man, had the passer. I think shout out to Pedro. I think he had ducked down Little Nasty already. You get me? So like in an unrelated event to me. So like when he seen him, these man kind of circled Nas. Like Nas was in the middle of a circle of all my dogs. You get me? And basically they kind of stuck it on him. Yeah, but these times I was showing them like, bro, it's not even like that, man. It's just a Grime clash, man. This shit ain't no. It's not no, like, you get me. I was trying to show them like, bro, it's not no. This is
Real
like
street
this
thing.
Grime, but obviously you
Yeah.
know what the man them are like. So
Yeah.
they basically circled him, made him feel uncomfortable, like boom, boom, boom. You get me, like, and I didn't like I said, I didn't support that because this had nothing to do with what I do. You get me? So, but like that's kind of why I've always tried to separate where I come from with like where I go, like in Grime and that. But basically, nah, because he got circled on. He's basically, I think anyway, because he got circled on, man's got a call from Jammer the next day saying that I shouldn't come with anyone because I'm come like basically saying that my people are like trouble, you get me, kind of thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
But he didn't tell you
yeah,
that
but he didn't
Nas
say
was
that to
coming.
Nas, yeah, but he didn't say that
Okay.
to Nas, you get me, so
Okay. Wow.
So, and look, bro, like I said, man, these sort of events, like, I don't really have any disdain left about them, so I can just tell you how it is, bro. You get me? Like, they didn't tell Nas to come on his ones, they told me to come on my ones. So, man's gone there, just in the spirit of Grime, you know, as you do. And then, obviously, the man's got there, gridlock, deadlock, like, obviously, they're all there, you get me? So, it's what it is. There was one nigga that I knew, he weren't really a mutual, that, but I knew him, and so it was like, it was just a funny vibe. It was weird, but they kind of like it felt like a setup in a way, like it did. I'll be real, but basically, man's gone there, done the clash. Boom, bam, bim. My man said the bar, like how he said the bar about my bro. And at the end of the day, you know the thing with man, yeah, it's like all this Grime clashing and that shit's cool, but like I think that the way that I've behaved as Maxsta definitely doesn't reflect the home that I come from, right? But as I got older, even in times like that, it's like I come from a very like Christian, prayerful African Sierra Leonean home. You get me? So it's like it's
Yeah.
like it's one of them things where it's like certain things that people do. Yeah, it's like man's not gonna match that energy. You get it? That's not my game to play, and also it's not necessarily my game to take the most offense. Yeah, but look, obviously people are gonna be like, oh, my man said that about your brother. But I've always had this theory, yeah, where it's like, if I don't rate someone as a person, yeah, like for instance, right, then if I ever, for instance, worst case scenario, put myself in jail for that person, what that looks like for someone with my brain, that looks like a direct swap. That feels like I'm swapping you for me. But if you're not worth one me, then you can say anything you like. You know what I mean? Because it's like
Yeah.
that's very like everyone's got a mouth. You know what I mean? It's like you can kind of you can
No.
get your rocks off in that because that's how you and your people get down. But it's like at the end of the day, yeah, that was disrespectful and boom bam bim. But on the flip side, it's like when I'm getting a call from young Diz saying, yeah, yeah,
ACG.
when man's
Beckham.
getting a call from young Diz saying that they've kicked his ass and or something like that, and he's left his baby mum in a pram, I'm not even
Wait,
I'm not
what?
even happy about that. You get me? Like